And we're live.
That we are.
Welcome to the Gaming Stadium's first ever online Strive event, hosting not just Vancouver, but the whole of NA. I'm Benoit.
I'm Gamble. I'm hanging out.
Yeah. And we're both going to be hanging out with you tonight. So we're going to hop right into this real quick. And our first feature match is going to be Princess Slim, and I know she's not from Vancouver, versus Porogasm. So,
who is from Vancouver, or well, not Vancouver, but he's up north.
Yeah. So let's see if Porogasm can defend BC. Princess, I know she's got an extensive history with Street Fighter. One of those people that was really a student of the game, and who understood sort of the value of being minus, but being at the right spacing. So she's rocking that Axel, and we've got Porogasm on Nagoriyuki.
He's put in a good bit of time into the character. He's still very, very new to fighting games in general, coming from more of a Smash background, so playing against Axel is going to be one hell of a pain for him. Yeah,
so, I mean, when the round started, it looked like he had a great mindfulness of staying outside the range that Axel wants, but at this point, this appears to be just bullying. Nagoriyuki, the unfortunate owner of a very tall hurt box while standing, and not a lot of fast approach options. This matchup was one that I got pretty familiar with during the beta, and Axel really has the opportunity to bully Nagoriyuki from the full screen. His 5P is quite good at checking things. That was a good reaction on the command throw. If Nagoriyuki hadn't have jumped, he would have got grabbed there. Yeah, so see, like, that's 5P. It services as an anti-air, it services as a space control tool, and it's, as far as Axel's, like, huge normals go, it's pretty non-committal.
Right. It's such a pain. You can see it. He's going to get blown up for that. Did not go for faultless defense. Could have lasted a little bit longer. Princess Slim showing absolute domination of this matchup early on. No question about it.
Honestly, if Porogasm is coming from a Smash background, faultless defense is an esoteric mechanic that they may not even understand incorrectly. But if you can defend using your meter in Guilty Gear, and you can avoid ship damage, which sometimes is necessary to prevent otherwise checkmate scenarios.
Good dash out of the corner too. Gives up a little bit of damage for that stage control, and this.
So that return Rensen into that knockdown sets up a meaty overhead that, if it hits, you can just convert off of. So Princess really just showing us, like, the basic loop that you want to engage with an Axel, and it's honestly going to be entirely up to Porogasm to break the cycle.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Blood-sucking universe. Baits the burst, but doesn't quite get what he needs off of it.
Pretty fearless approach early on there from Porogasm, but he immediately backed off, and it's going to start costing him, as there's a full screen to back up for Princess Slim.
Yeah. Did such a good job of getting Princess to the corner, and then, unfortunately... Great bait. A lot of Axel stuff, a lot of stuff in this game in general is burst safe. You have this great defensive tool in burst, which you can use while you're being hit, while you're blocking at any time, and you can use it to push the enemy away, but there's so many moves that just the character that you're trying to hit is so far away from the move itself that you burst and nothing happens. And Princess with excellent presence of mind. I think what we really saw there.
Nice.
Yeah. I think what we really saw there is Porogasm got a little too eager, got that good blood-sucking universe, didn't know quite how to safely apply pressure after the blood-sucking universe knockdown, and gave Princess an opportunity to get out of the corner. And it's like, once you have Axel in the corner, you really have to double down on keeping her there, or keeping Axel in the corner. Like, you can't, you've worked so hard to get that advantage, and you have to keep it as much as you can.
And it's that shade tougher in this game. There's the wall break, so you're going to have to give up that corner for damage. Do you try and read a tech off the wall? Probably not. I think you just cash in and hope that you can use a super for hard knockdown somewhere during that wall combo, but it's tough.
I think Nagoriyuki benefits from having the positive meter bonus, you get the opportunity to turn a lot of your approach options safe, or you get the opportunity to sort of like cover an approach with your sort of clone fireball, or so breaking the wall there wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world.
Oh, for sure.
But definitely, this is a very explosive game, and you need to know what to do when you've knocked somebody down.
Yep, and it's tough. You can't even go. When watching that matchup, you can't even go into the more intricate things like, hey, do you try and balance your blood gauge a little bit higher so you get those faster normals? Are you just trying to keep it low because you don't really need the normals, you just want to be able to go in fast with specials? We can't even really consider any of those things because the entire game was decided by, hey,
we didn't see the blood gauge be particularly relevant the entire time, which honestly, credit to Porogasm. I think it's an early trap to fall into as you develop as an Nagore Yuki player, to take a look look at the idea of like, oh, I can wreck all of my specials, and then you just go nuts and you die for it. And so like we saw excellent restraint when the round began. We saw great awareness of Axel first, but like a lot of zoning heavy characters, there gets to a point where you just get hit enough times that you're like, forget it, I'm gonna get in.
Yeah, no,
like I'm done playing full screen. We're sending it.
And it's sometimes it's gonna work because you've been being patient the entire time. It's like, hey, this is my chance to explode. Sometimes you get hit again. Like it's how it shakes down. I guess while we're just hanging out here, we have people that have helped put this on when it comes to TGS staff, be it the event organizers or the technical production, but we also have people that have helped put this forward through monetary means, I guess is the way to phrase it. So
let's talk about some sponsor.
It's exactly what I'm getting to. And one of those, you've seen it cycling on the screen, has been Return It Express. Want a fast and easy way to recycle that energy drink, can of pop, or juice you've just finished refueling on? With Return It Express, there's no sorting, no lineups, no handling. Cash and refunds are deposited straight to your online account, all extremely simple. You can just drop off your empties at an express depot near you and go. Signing up is easy too. Just head to returnit.ca/express to give your empties a second life. Also, I don't want that little can that appears out of the recycling bin to frown at me angrily, so I'm just gonna go.
Recycle. Listen, gamers, that heat wave, no joke. We gotta save the planet. Sorting your recycling, it sucks. I know it sucks. We all know it sucks.
Now you don't have to.
Benefit of Return It Express, you don't have to sort it anymore. You just give them a bag full of things that are recyclable, and honestly,
you're out.
You're out, and they're gonna wire you that money directly to your account. So set it and forget it. But also today, the event is obviously brought to us by Canada's leader in esports, the Gaming Stadium, as demonstrated by we're over here, the Gaming Stadium. So if you're looking for the next big thing in competitive gaming, don't look anywhere else. Look no further. The team here are leaders in online esports and tournaments and events. So if you want to check out any of that action, you can head on over to tgs.gg, tgs.gg, and you can find out when the next weekly Guilty Gear free entry online event is. It's Tuesday. Spoilers. It's every Tuesday in July. But TGS runs, they run Shadowverse events. I know they've run Magic Arena events. So honestly, if you're like me and you like to sit at home and play video games instead of go and enjoy the beautiful sunlight, that's the perfect opportunity to maybe test yourself. And we're back.
More games. Oh, we got Lemon. Oh, we're just getting a bunch of Smash players through right now, aren't we?
All right.
You talk on Afterburn if you have anything, but
I no idea who Afterburn is. Wish them the best of luck. Soul versus Chip. These are two players who obviously chose victory at character select.
Yeah, no sense messing around. Let's give ourselves the best opportunity possible. And here we go. I'm gonna get that offense going.
Okay,
forces out the burst early.
Yeah, honestly, a little eager on trying to get that extra damage, but better that Soul not have the burst now that you've got him in the corner.
Big damage there for Chip.
Not a huge cash out, but honestly, gets the meter bonus at 50. If I'm Soul, I have to be worried about I gotta be worried about a lot of things with that health. But the way that we're seeing Afterburn, like, moving around, jumping around, like, he's got to be familiar with the Chip matchup at this point. He knows that Chip is a bit slippery. It's really hard to, like, force a traditional grounded neutral game against this character.
Absolutely. You know, Chip just being one of the hyper-mobile characters in this game, that being Melee and Chip in my eyes. And
okay, miss faces that throw. Okay.
No damage. Tries to bait out a DP there with that back dash. He's going to get caught in
Excellent. What a beautiful presence of mind to not only get the jump back, but also hit that falling air to ground.
Got a lot out of that one conversion, gets them the round, and now Lemon early on the back, on the back foot in this matchup.
Yeah, maybe we've seen Afterburn make the necessary adjustment. Excellent run in, get that whiff punish.
Dead man.
Yeah, absolutely dead Chip. I like the slight pause there. I don't know if that was to kill frames or if that was Afterburn specifically looking for the burst that Chip did have available, but then once you're stuck to the wall, like, it's over. You cannot...
That's the day. That's the game right there. Lemon had a strong first round. I thought that they were going to be able to run away with this one with the way that they performed, but immediately after, Afterburn just starts hitting buttons while also hitting Chip, and that doesn't go well in this matchup. The moment you get scratched as Chip, you start falling apart.
Chip is a red barrel in a video game. Like, you shoot him once and he explodes. But excellent composure on the part of Afterburn. You can sometimes lose an incredibly explosive round of Chip, and the important part is to not let that get you. Goes for the charge just the second time with no burst available. Chip is absolutely dead.
Damage to spare.
Yeah, that glowing orange hit, it's an overhead. You have to block it standing, but fully charged, it creates a special launch state. And if you don't have any way to get out of that with your burst, that launch state is big damage.
Yeah. You get into that Dragon Ball Super Dash looking combo.
Yeah. Alright.
Oh! That could be a massive punish!
Afterburn not necessarily comfortable playing at this speed. Doing a great job keeping up, and honestly getting a lot more out of these exchanges a lot of the time. But, like, the way that they've spaced their buttons, they're clearly not super comfortable, but this is going to be on the wall, double bandit bringer, you got positive bonus. You didn't have super, so you couldn't get the hard knockdown. Doesn't matter. Chip trying to get maybe a cross-up in that scramble, that Alpha Blade where he goes invisible and runs on the ground. He's not visible, but he is right in front of you. So, yeah, a danger is if you're using that kind of move while you've put the other player in a mindset of scramble, and they're just pressing buttons, that's a bad time. Yeah, you want to be using a movement like that when they're kind of paralyzed. They're in that mindset where they're like, I'm blocking, I'm focused, I'm going to watch for what Chip's doing, and that's when Chip turns invisible and you don't know what side he's on.
Yeah, and that starts happening to you. You start getting crossed up, you start worrying about the wrong things. Instead of just playing solid defense, you're like, okay, I need to worry about one specific option. It's not how any fighting game works. You need to be able to evaluate where someone's standing, which is tough with Chip being as fast and as elusive as they are. And you need to be willing to understand what your opponent has actually been putting out as options at that range.
And we saw...
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, we saw Soul go for that 5K over and over again, and that button is fast and deadly.
It's immaculate. It became that way, too, because, as I was going to lead into, typically your opponent at certain ranges is only putting out 2 of their, call it 3 or 4 options. When you only have to focus between a 50-50, you got a lot of time to work with. There's a lot of just animation differences that you could look for in a move. There's a lot of life bar differences that you could go, okay, this one's more likely. The world becomes very, very simple. But if Chip gets to scramble, and he gets to play from that close range, you're going to fall apart. And that never happened. We got to play that pseudo mid-range game that Soul kind of likes.
For like half of the first round, that was kind of happening, where we saw we saw Afterburn not really know what to do, and Lemon was just doing things. And I think that was a good mindset for them to come into the match with. But after a while, I think you weren't exploring enough of the wheels. You weren't like picking enough of the options that eventually the only options that you were sort of relying on were the ones that Soul 5K was really good against.
Yep.
And that's here we are.
Another one quickly. Haru 30 and Uncle Satan?
I believe that was the name. Uncle Satan.
Uncle Satan.
So I am not familiar with either of these players, but we got ourselves a Leo versus a Ramlethal. First Ramlethal of the evening.
First Leo of the evening.
Ram, a character that I would expect to see a lot of throughout this event. Excellent presence of mind. Leo is throwable during that, and it's really only during specific setups that he can make it very difficult to throw him out of that. So...
And that kind of falls back to what I brought up while we were talking about. You only have to look for so many options at certain ranges, and after blocking the slash heavy slash combination, you know that throw needs to be on deck for you.
Yeah, excellent RC to sort of break up the pace there. Good corner control. Isn't pushing too... Okay, as I was just remarking that they were very patient, they decided to go all in. And that all in... Ooh, what a beautiful... Yeah, that was an ambiguous cross-up situation that they might have gone low with. They decided instead. That was perhaps an ill-timed burst. When you have that little health left, you're really putting all of your eggs in that one basket.
You need to be on top of Faultless in, you need to be able to get in, make sure that they don't push super just as a get-off-me tool, almost. Like, there's so much that you're saying, I'm better than, in this one instance.
Okay, yeah. A difficult situation to get out of, but... Oh, okay, got the two-frame throw.
The counter!
Excellent presence of mind. Gets the command throw. Haru demonstrating a great awareness of typical Ram tendencies in this matchup. Fully baited the invincible reversal, and also hasn't gone for the full screen dash through since Uncle Satan checked it with the throw. So
might be good to bring that back out though at some point soon. It's nice to show the restraint that you're not just going to rely on one move.
Excellent at waiting for that gap. Okay, good throw. Got the back turn stance. Okay,
sketch.
Uncle Satan showing like, you got me the first time. We're not gonna let you do that to me each round. Haruo's patience in amidst this like absolutely suffocating Ram corner pressure is
pretty impressive.
Excellent. Uses the fireball to catch the approach. Great use of meter. Didn't really need the damage if you can keep the corner.
Punish there.
Oh, and it recovers so quickly. Like, it's throwable if you see it, but I think that was... No, I think that was a super input that didn't happen. You saw Leo shimmy a little bit.
Sure.
I don't know how I feel about the uppercuts from Haru yet. Like, some of them are divinely brilliant, and other times he's using it as almost like a frame trap tool, which feels like such a high-risk thing for reasonably little reward. It pushes Ram away from you, which is...
Dead man? No pickup.
Oh!
Goes low. Goes low. Keeps it simple.
That run-through could have been it. That could have killed Ram. Haru was working with so little rope to hang themselves with for the whole back half of that round. They did such a good job of keeping it together.
It's been a strong showing from both players so far, but hey, it's Haru with that first game, and they're going to get the mid with the overhead. Over the cross, and we still want mix. Let him go.
All right. Oh, Ram, it's so hard to burst. Those swords do not count towards her body when you're hitting her. All right, gets the sneaky low. Excellent overhead, just quick RC. Yeah. Ram has such a fast, such a powerful, such a far-reaching super that it's such a high risk to not be mindful of that super pretty much at all times. She's got meter. Uncle Satan's air throws have been very, very strong this whole game.
He's been getting them every which way. Oh,
Yeah,
there's that frame trap again. It's just not working. They haven't budged on it. Just call at the end of your turn and move on with your life.
I think that frame trap has hit twice, but both times, the amount of damage that you get out of it is equal to one time it's punished. Like, you put every time it's worked together.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Absolutely.
Bit of a scramble. Alright, Ram could have ended it, but that jump S is gonna end things. So that's a quick up 1-1. We're starting to see both of these characters, both of these players, no longer wanting to play this like extended neutral game, but more wanting to like force what their character wants to do and is particularly strong at. It's a mistake to burst there. It's always a mistake to burst there, which can be quite...
This is just great pressure from Uncle Satan. It looked like this was going to be a problematic matchup for them in that first game. Like, maybe they were going to be, you know, fighting for their life, but it's just not been the case. A great game. Oh,
excellent
no.
first bait. Oh, gosh. Admit it, keeping the corner, still great. Obviously, there was a lot more that could have happened. Goes for the charge burst. The damage, the reward of hitting a charge burst is so high, but the downside is it's very reactable. Okay, goes for the uppercut RC, gets the mix. So that part isn't truly a mix. Yeah,
the blue.
Blue RC throws. It adds a slowdown effect to whatever your opponent's doing if it touches them. So turns things that could be punishable unpunishable, or it just sometimes catches your opponent in the middle of whatever they were doing. And that's going to be it.
Bit greedy there when it came to the back turn defense that they had. Mashed a couple buttons, threw out the counter. There was a lot of panic in that position, and it's completely understandable too. I mean, you're in the most vulnerable position in the game, quite honestly, when you're just standing on the ground. You have no ability to block, you have no ability to jump, you need to cancel that stance or bank on a counter. And that's just, that's not fun. Plain and simple, that's not fun.
Once you get down to that kind of life differential, especially when you're Leo and you don't have access to quite the explosive damage that Ram has, you know that you're going to need more than one hit. You know that you're going to need more than one thing to really close that round out. And I think that was why we saw the all-in on the counter from that life. It was just being like, I know that this isn't going to kill, but I know I'm going to need at least to win 2 exchanges. And what I need is for you to be scared enough on the second exchange to not do your best option. So I can see where we got there, how we got there. But Ram, shout-outs to Uncle Satan. Great presence of mind on the ground for throws.
Yep.
And just made the adaptation very quickly. We saw Leo make the adaptation in game 1, and then really Ram just reversed it, and there was the call didn't get answered again.
Mm-hmm. It was a matchup that seemed really doable the entire time on both sides, but it is just, you know, as you're saying, just great control shown from the Ram player there in Uncle Satan. I mean, it's sometimes that simple. You're dealing with a character that wants to get in, so hey, how about I just not let them in? It doesn't need to be more complex of a game plan than that, and that's what ended up happening. They kept them out, and when they were in, they stayed in, and when they lost their turn, they found a way to back off.
Ram also excellent at just like passively keeping control of such space on the screen.
Absolutely.
You have to be ready to just deal with these huge hitboxes that she's putting out at all times. But while we're between games,
why not?
Gamble, have you heard about Monster Cat Gold?
I have, but go on.
Okay, well, pretend that you haven't for a second.
Okay.
So if you haven't tried it yet, it is a service provided by Monster Cat that gives you access to stream thousands of songs that they sort of own from several EDM artists. And for $5 a month, you get the permissions to stream and download this. And the added benefit, and sort of like what the real hook of this is that any music that you get from the Monster Cat service while you're subscribed to it, you can use in your live streams, you can use on your Twitch page, you can use in your videos, with no fear of DMCA strikes. So
Absolutely.
if you are a content creator and you are looking for, I mean, it can be EDM specifically, or it can just be music. The struggle to find music as a content creator is real.
Yeah.
We've all seen videos that use that one like chill summer jazz that brings everything together. And if you want to stand out as a content creator, then consider the Monster Cat service, which you can check out at tgs.gg/monstercat. That's tgs.gg/monstercat. Right up there.
We'll get it.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We're in.
The first
reverse cams and all that.
We are actually pretty deep into the bracket. The beauty of this online event is we're going by quite quickly, and I mean, quite honestly, I remember the days of offline events, and like obviously I miss being near people, and I miss the thrill of like having people around and like seeing like that one player jump out of their chair and pop off, and by seeing, sometimes I mean being that one player jumps out of their chair and pop off. But you know, there's a constant struggle against trying to catch like the last train, or whether or not you're going to have to Uber your way home. And this event has gone by, it feels like, in no time at all. Yeah,
we're not even an hour deep. We're we started this at 6, I believe, for at least round 1, and we've already got up to losers round 4. We don't have all of the matches actually present at this point in time. And then we have winners round 4, which we're only missing 1 as a 2 of them don't have both players in, but like it's still absolutely whipping by right now.
And this was a sizable bracket. We went we are all the way from A to AM. So a lot of people showed up. You know, that's the benefit of having a game where, yes, there's communicating with server. Yes, like there are some things about the lobbies that'd be great for Arxis to address, but honestly, the fact that they've like listened to the community about the core net play experience, just the making playing against your friend feel as good as possible, I think has been just incredibly promising. And I think even Arxis has been surprised with like the reception that people have had to, especially in a pandemic, a game that in any way can make you feel like you're playing in a room with your friends again.
Yeah, and it's still good. It's not perfect, but it's as close to perfect as we're gonna get right now. And honestly, I don't notice it.
It's not perfect, but it's like, there are so many rounds where I've played it and I've been like, anything bad that happened in that round was because I was an idiot, not because the game suddenly decided to die. And that, I'd forgotten what that felt like. I've had this game for like 3 weeks and I've got like 80 hours on it.
I don't know what I'm at. I checked mine 4 or 5 days in and I was 40 plus hours.
Damn.
Yeah. Like, what am I at now? Strive. I have 83.6 hours now. So I've been a little bit more tame since the first few days.
Who are you playing? Who are you playing?
Soul all day.
Soul all day? Far S. All right,
yep.
All right.
It's that simple.
We missed connecting to lobby. Oh, okay. So we've had a missed lobby connection. So we're gonna take a quick break.
Okay, we'll see you guys in a bit.
Yeah.
It's summer, so you hit the links. Take a road trip. Go for a bike ride. And recycle every drink container. In BC, it's just what you do. And now it's even faster with Express.
Without your love. Without your love. Reclaim desk space, reduce clutter, and have a dedicated spot for all of your equipment. Toss in some products that look great and that you'll love using, and you'll be amazed at how productive you can be. For more information about these products and the rest of our lineup, check out cantoliving.com. And also look at the other videos on our YouTube channel for more helpful tips.
feel this tide choke my neck and I just wonder why I'm buried in a suit I'd never buy, a suit I'd never buy. Cufflinks on my wrist, I can't act surprised when the shovels hit dirt in the earth. Did they start to cry?
And we're back. Winners quarters.
Yep.
We've got... Things are getting a little spicy.
Exactly where I was going to go. We're getting into the good stuff. This is where we get to be excited about these players being, returning competitors next time. What are they going to do in the next tournament? We get to watch what they do in this tournament, but it's all about building those storylines and seeing how far people can push themselves. And I think we've been told, we're starting off with Psychotic versus Elkman. And Elkman has had one hell of a bracket run. Bowled over Afterburn MK, beat down Mom, slipped past Yaya 2-1.
Yeah,
and was able to beat their round 1.
That was Elkman's only loss. It's been a 2-0 absolute run through every time. But Psychotic's out here with Zato. This is a character near and dear to my heart, but there's charge dust to start things off. Yeah, you burst that or you die. Zato struggles a little bit in this matchup because honestly, a lot of his normals are so reliant on Eddie being out, and Eddie is not...
Oh my god, he's got him! He gets him off the JD! Are you kidding me? That's a brilliant call and a great conversion to follow.
Yeah. And if you need Eddie to do your neutral and you need Eddie to do your conversions into big damage, like, your control has to be so tight. You have to be working so hard. Here we go with a pretty... alright, gets the break the law, lets you cross under. Keeps the corner, uses the invite hell and the 6B. This is just to buy some time. We're going to see an excellent conversion in the corner. Uses the sword super. This is going to get the knockdown on the screen, and also it's going to completely refill the Eddie bar. You're trading a little bit of damage that you would have got from Amorphous to get access to Eddie back. Doesn't matter. Eddie dies right away. It is...
Hello.
Zato
burst
has...
bait.
Okay, yeah, uses the PRC to try and catch something. Oppose, which is when Eddie's got all the arms. Yep. That's the strongest neutral. Okay, spends all the meter for this kill. Fish, crouch S, fish, gets the match.
Keeps it at a round apiece, and winner of this gets to decide a lot. Picking up that one game just gives you a lot of mental breathing room.
Oh, okay, this burst. Excellent presence of mind with Elkman. Just absolutely stops the approach, halts the pressure as soon as Oppose is out. You don't want to be part of a Twitter clip, but when Zato doesn't have access to Eddie, it's done.
That's absurd. Absolute brilliant game that entire way through from Elkman. The rounds he won were won just so dominantly. It was never a question. The round that Psychotic got was strong as well, but I mean, jeez. You all saw what I just saw. It's hard to put into words that level of proficiency.
Zato has to be slippery. You absolutely have to be willing to, like, run around. You have to take opportunities to escape as much as possible. Like, in this situation here, Psychotic had the opportunity to get out of the corner and instead went for, like, 20, 30 damage, maybe? It's really hard to come back from a life deficit like this unless you get a knockdown.
Shoots the overhead. This is big pressure here, but he's going to get gold RC'd, and
okay,
going to force out a burst.
Good burst. Okay, oh gosh, that could have been death. You have so much time to OTG when the frog hits. So Psychotic getting their bearings a little bit, and it's hard to keep your composure in this matchup. Soul runs you over.
Oh my goodness, great
Here we are in the corner. Here's the wall. Okay.
Whoops.
Now we're seeing Psychotic be like, actually, I don't want to be here.
Yep. Find a way out any way possible. He gets that same conversion. Great anti-airs here from Elkman.
Okay,
absolutely
good throw.
Up at every turn.
Really afraid of the uppercut now that they've noticed Elkman has the bar to make it safe. Okay, gets the uncharged dust. Not a lot of characters get rewarded off uncharged dust. But
Zato can
Zato can guarantee follow-ups because Eddie will be able to act after the dust immediately. And Zato's corner damage is very, very high.
Yeah, the character,
It's just a matter of creating these opportunities, which is much more difficult than 5K'ing any jump in.
Right.
We're starting to see that slipperiness.
Yep. Playing a much more reserved game. Pressing when needing to. Great call out with the RC. Gets the throw, and he's going to be able to keep going on him. Weird little reset, but it puts it down.
Oof. Excellent game. Yeah. Unless Zato goes into invite hell from 5H, you can always jump out of it. So excellent presence of mind for Psychotic to know Soul can jump out of this. And Elkman, as a player who's probably familiar with this matchup, is going to try to jump out of this. So I'm just going to PRC, get an immediate air throw.
Absolutely. We're 1-1 in the set. We're going back. Yeah, there we go. I was like, what happened?
I was like, did we miss game one? Is that it for Psychotic? I mean, really unfortunate luck on the P Eddy, but gets the command throw. So this does a little bit of damage, and more importantly, gives you your full Eddy bar back.
Oh, he's going to use it nicely.
Not the best damage that Zato could have got off of the wall stick. But honestly, you have a full stick of butter already. Yeah, use the wire seed just to get Soul off you. Yeah, immediate burst. Create that space.
Doesn't have it with the 5K. Not going to reach in time.
Psychotic seems to be struggling a little bit. Maybe it's hesitation. But yeah, you can run up and use your crouch S to cover Eddy a little bit so that you don't have to leave him out all by himself.
It's been solid stuff here from Psychotic, adjusted greatly since game one. It looked brutal for them, but now it looks very, very doable. No punish, though, on that Bandit Bringer. It's going to cause them to be all the way in the corner. Or, sorry, Revolver.
Soul's run is so fast that the moment a Soul smells fear, they're running towards you, and just all the work that you've done to maintain space. Excellent throw.
Any meters
now,
back?
If Psychotic ever does that with 50 meter, there's a significant... Oh, excellent oppose. Could have got a follow-up.
Doesn't have him. It's the burst.
Excellent burst bait.
Put him down. Doesn't put him down. Just drops him, but it's not going to matter. Psychotic.
Yeah.
Finally,
and that's 2-1.
Elkman his first loss.
So here we are. No, that's the second one.
First loss of a set.
Oh, yeah. So Elkman's down to the losers. That Soul is a menace. We saw a lot of really strong decision-making there. We saw great awareness of oppose right up until that final round. So, like, obviously something in the mental changed for Elkman, where he was like, I have to close this out. I'm giving Psychotic breathing room. I am going to let this slip away from me if I don't. And that was just the perfect time for pulling out oppose, because Soul walked right into it and then put himself in the corner with the throw and the oppose follow-up, and that was history.
Apart right there. No, that's all it takes, and that's just... I mean, it's well played from Psychotic, too. You can't put it all on Elkman breaking down. Psychotic recognized that there were these opportunities, these spots to be able to push things forward, to be able to really dictate the game the way that Zato wants to be able to play things through, and simply took advantage of it.
Yeah,
and pushed the stuff forward.
When the set started, we didn't see it. We saw a little bit of hesitancy in the movement, and then as Psychotic got a lot more comfortable in like what was going on and how to approach this particular Soul, we got a little bit funkier in the air. We saw a little bit more interesting air movement, which is something that Zato's really strong at. Zato's really good at approaching from really unpredictable angles, and that's kind of what you have to do, because a lot of your options in the air are going to lose to 5K on the ground. But if you can bait that by just delaying slightly or just coming from like a slightly strange angle, and as we saw Psychotic get a little bit familiar with that, we saw it was harder and harder for Soul to keep him in the corner.
Yeah.
And obviously, if Soul has to come chase you down, that's just a lot more opportunity for one benefit that Zato has is a lot of the Eddy moves, both the Pierce attack where you get the 2 punches and the Leap attack where you get the huge frog. Like, both of those moves are very good at saying, like, you stay over there, and if you try and come over here, you are feeding me damage.
You're just handing over the game. It's going to fall apart so quickly because of it. And it's
so great.
Yeah,
go for it.
I was going to say the exact same thing I think you're leading to. Great stuff there from both players, but better stuff to Psychotic.
Next up, we have GIZMO and not Ruka. This is going to be Oh, I thought the name was not Ruka.
Nah, I promise you it's him.
Okay. Okay, you
I'm
see
just
the
making a
player
joke.
name though.
Yeah, I know. I know. Good start here from GIZMO though. Has
Alright,
Chip
Ruka,
already-
I got mixed. I'm on record, you got me with the mix. Giovanna, one of her strengths, we haven't got to see a Gio yet on stream. One of her strengths, all of her normals are just incredibly good at this particular role they fill. And we're seeing GIZMO right now not take a super committal approach. Normally Giovanna is more of a rushdown character, but obviously against Chip you gotta be. Yeah, okay, get the.
That stings.
Okay, get the wall break. Gonna go for the super. Yeah, okay, so I think this will kill.
Gonna put him
Nope,
darn
never
close, but
mind.
not enough.
Didn't get the full.
Good blue RC away. Is able to block that overhead. Challenging again. There's the throw. Put him
Yeah,
down.
excellent throw. Giovanna's overhead move, the little flip, it's not very fast. It's easy enough to react to on block, but it's plus on block. Like,
Plus
you're
four.
not supposed to block. You're supposed to do something else. So, like,
Giovanna is all about interrupting her pressure. There's no, I mean, there's gaps, sure. That's exactly what you're looking for. But very rarely are you going to finish extremely negative in which that you, in such a way that you're going to get punished. You need to recognize her strings, you need to recognize the openings, and hit a button. Risk getting counter hit.
and that far S that she's doing, it is so good at catching low air dashes. Like, it is a deceptively good anti-air button. Alright, jumps, doesn't get got by the overhead. We're back to mid-screen,
Oh,
and that's going to be all she wrote.
Slips it in there, already got him with the Alpha Blade, so he's worried about getting his toes clipped by that, so he stays perfectly still and gets grabbed for it.
Ruka doing an excellent job of just rotating through the chip option. There you go, showing the appropriate response to that overhead, which is just not blocking it, interrupting it before it hits you. It's quite late. Oh, excellent burst. I think that would have been some big damage in a wall break otherwise. No, you can't. You
Nice
can't
hit.
press the buttons there. Oh, her close S is so good.
This is basically going to seal it. This one mix will shut it down. Data Blade? No, holds. Stays defensive. Alpha's from the sky. He's playing completely defensive. Tension doesn't matter. Danger meter doesn't, or danger warning doesn't matter. Fine, take my bar. Do what you want with it. But I'm not approaching this Giovanna unless it's on exactly my terms.
Okay, yeah.
RC.
Gio with an excellent throw, but Chip's in chip range.
Oh,
Yeah,
and doesn't
such-
commit.
Such a dangerous place to be. Chip has the opportunity to delay those follow-ups for a very long time, so it's possible for him to catch attempts to actually counter poke in that moment. But you must be, like, the fear is real when you've got literally nothing to spare health-wise.
Right.
Okay. Nice 6 feet. Okay, gold burst, so we immediately get green giant Giovanna. She gets a guts boost and a damage boost.
Yep. That becomes Potemkin's defense and an extra 10% of that damage compared to a normal stuff.
Yeah.
I mean.
Okay, gets the sneaky cross up. Keeps the corner. Going for the fancy wall combo. Oh, drops it. But
Honey
still,
falls
this
down hard.
yeah, this round's looking like a bit of a wrap. Yeah, hate to see someone die with full bar. Giovanna does have mechanical benefits to holding on to meter, but there's a lot of opportunities, especially against Chip, to use some of your YRC or PRC options to just slow things down and really, like, return to a state where you're both kind of on an even footing.
Absolutely.
All right. We're seeing just some absolutely belligerent pressure. Here's the counter hit. Doesn't get a follow-up that guarantees a lot of damage.
Good Alpha Blade out, just spends those jumps, dips out of the corner, and now we're gonna have pressure for him. It's nothing fancy, it's not big damage, but
This is what I'm talking about. You want that YRC because you want to start. That normally is a plus situation for Chip, and really being able to turn that around on him is what you kind of need. We didn't see the J2Ks come out nearly as much in Game 1, but now that they're starting to come out, the challenge is really on GIZMO to show that there's consistent answers to those.
Yeah. And there are. Those buttons exist. It's just a matter of pressing them.
Yeah, a lot of it can be determined by your spacing. If your back is against the wall and Chip doesn't have the opportunity to get on either side of you with the J2K, most characters 6P will get them right out. Mid-screen, it gets a little bit more complicated, but Gio's got this anti-air move.
Yeah, her pseudo DP that has the upper body invincibility.
Yeah, and you can see Ruka has some familiarity with it, and that he's being very particular not to fall so obviously.
Oh,
okay,
but that was obvious
super.
enough.
Yeah, this has some invulnerability. Goes straight into the RC. We're going.
That was some max bar combos right there if I ever saw them.
And honestly, we saw a very brave DP on Ruka's part, because if that was blocked, it was fully good night.
He just put it away right quick,
Yeah.
but he's gonna get him there. A little bit of
So
stagger pressure puts him down.
One of those situations where it's like, it's not about the frames, it's about the spacing. Giovanna is minus after you block that hit, but if you don't attack with the right button, then she'll catch you out of the recovery or startup of what you're throwing out to try and challenge that. Excellent command throw. Okay. So in situations at that spacing, most characters can just 6P because Chip doesn't have the ability to go behind you. I say most because, like, obviously if you're Nago, you can't. Chip suddenly can go behind you. Yeah, there was excellent presence of mind on GIZMO's part to bait that burst, even if nothing came out of it. Hits with the raw overhead. We're gonna see, yeah.
Again.
Set up, going to the wall. Doesn't get the full wall combo, but manages to get the break. The JD.
Using that positive bonus to play super defensively too. The amount of times they backdash is absurd,
Yeah.
and they're still gonna get a full bar from it almost.
Good presence of mind on Ruka's part to use the faultless defense, because a lot of Giovanna's pressure, she can go back into it and she can take her turn back quite easily.
Yep.
So you can sort of force whiffs, or you can force her turn to be over if you're able to push her out that one of her normals doesn't connect. This is a risky situation.
This is the situation, and he gets him.
Got him. Good play by Ruka. Waking up at the 6P, I think, was really like hoping for maybe a sneaky low to the ground air dash that was going to either be on the same side. I'm not sure that would have beat a cross up necessarily, but great presence of mind on GIZMO's part to go for the overhead. That's a situation where they have even less time than normal to react to it, and it's plus on block. So it's like, it's a very non-committal way. You get a little bit of chip. If they went for the DP, it's possible that the DP might have whipped in that situation. Just because anytime you can go like directly over top of a character as they're waking up, you have a chance of making their DP go on the opposite side. So I think there was a lot of consideration to GIZMO's last decision, and that's the kind of cool that you need to see to take it all away in an event like this.
Yep, and it's a great move. You know, as you said, that overhead comes in, you get a little bit of chip. On block, on hit, looks like you get all of chip. Bottom of the round. It was the right call entirely, and there was a lot of situations like that throughout. I wish we could go back and actually highlight them, where people were making small decisions that benefited themselves greatly. We brought it up in the last round, or in the last game at the very least. The faultless defense that was coming out from Ruka after getting the positive bonus to be able to just run away and to be able to deny Giovanna's pressure for a little bit, which, as everyone who has picked up this game for more than 30 minutes and has run into one on ranked, you don't want to deal with Giovanna's pressure, and a great way to deal with it is just push her further away.
Yeah, a lot of the Giovanna matchup is just like forcing her to not have her turn anymore. She's so good at just getting back in quite quickly and stealing it. But before we jump into the next round, while we were on break, I jumped into the chat for a little bit, and Grandpa Mike Live, this one's for you. we're going to give another shout out to sponsor N-Corp Return It Express, because you, Grandpa Mike Live, probably need a fast and easy way to recycle your energy drinks, your sodas, and your juice box. The ocean, you're going to throw those in the ocean? My friend, that's money that you're leaving for the fishes. Don't give the fishes your money. Get your own money. You don't have to sort those. They do that for you. You just bring it in the bag. You sign up for an account, and they're going to deposit that money straight for you. Save the environment. Don't give fishes your money. Don't come into my chat and tell me you're throwing cans in the ocean. Sign up is easy. You go to turnit.ca/express.
I mean, at least they make it simple.
A very personalized message for the person in the chat that said, BRB, going to throw my cans in the ocean. It's not where they belong.
No, it's not. Not at all. Where we belong, though, is in another match. Hopefully we can get one of those up soon. We have 2 more matches of Winners Quarter Finals. We've got Bad Film and TAFE. And then on the other side of that same half of the bracket, we have Dr. Badfish and OG Legends. Winners of those will go on to fight each other. There's a lot going on in losers. Joffrey actually took out Klim, so we won't be seeing Klim anymore. And Princess Slim, after their DQ, they'll be hanging on as they beat Glackham to advance into top 8 by the looks of things.
So here we have TAFE and Bad Film. Leo versus Pot. Go straight for the Garuda.
Oh, goodbye, Health Bar.
Yeah. So Potbuster always does a little bit less and you combo directly into it, but honestly, you take the opportunity. RC is what is otherwise kind of a risky move. Excellent breaks on the part of TAFE. A big part of the Potemkin game plan is learning how to effectively use his Kara tools and his like minimum forward stepping tools. Yep. So we're seeing some great character familiarity from TAFE. No wonder they're so deep into the bracket.
And on winner's side too.
Yeah. Okay, Bad Film going for the overhead. Back into backturn stance. Nope, we're going straight to super.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Any touch. Strike.
All right.
A little slide.
Ooh, wait, that's the body splash hits on both sides.
It did hit.
Yeah. Yeah, Potemkin lives in a society. That body splash hits everywhere.
Did he
All right,
throw?
runs up for the throw, gets the back turn, double low.
We commits to it.
Interesting counter. Yeah, interesting counter hit set up there. Doesn't get. Oh gosh, this suddenly turned a very great situation into a bad one. But that's what Flash Kick is for. Once again, going to the super.
Yep. That'll kill. Can we get the damage? We absolutely can.
And we're done.
One apiece.
Even with the most minimum scaling, sending some through the wall does a grip of damage. They've really worked hard to make that like a worthwhile option in a game where you'd otherwise just want to keep the corner. All right, excellent flick. You cannot be predictable with your fireballs against Potemkin.
Oh, we're gonna get a throw. Not quite gonna put him. Oh, that could put him down.
No, that was
brilliant bait.
Okay, I think Pot could have killed there, but honestly, just robbing the burst is enough. And that's a quick game 1 for TAFE.
They were strong the whole way through. They had a couple showings of just brilliance to the mental game. And it's hopefully going to pay off for them further as they push through Bad Film here.
All right,
has him in the corner already.
Yeah, uses just the jab.
Little touch-ups here.
Yeah.
We're close to that throw range to killing.
Yeah.
This won't quite seal, but it's going to put him just at that last drag of health.
Yeah, it gets you the Garuda setup.
Oh,
Excellent patience on the part of TAFE. Doing a great job with that crouch P to just like irritate Bad Film into no longer challenging, which is honestly what that button's there for. As soon as you stop pressing buttons, that's where Potemkin wants you. Okay, gets the Woe Nelly blocks done with the technically unblockable.
Ooh. Still has the pressure going. This is great for Bad Film. They can find this round.
Okay, Pot armors through. Excellent presence of mind on the backdash. We've seen TAFE go for Potbuster in situations where he just does not respect the pressure And honestly, as a pot player, that's a very valid thing to do. You got to check people to make sure that they don't have those tight frame traps.
For sure.
Gets the throw, just goes mid, but gets the hit anyway. This could be a flick, yeah.
It's not a valuable tool in this matchup unless you're maybe doing it against hard knockdown. Like, you're going to get flicked every time.
Gets the bomb buster, has the meter. Yeah,
Okay. Dead.
Could have died for it. Didn't see Cape with the awareness of how to deal with the burst. Baited the burst. Maybe was expecting goes for the sneaky cross up.
Love it.
That was such a difficult position for Tafe to be in. Pot doesn't really have a lot of ways to get out of pressure like that. He's got the super, and he's got to be able to use the super on the right side. He's getting a lot of mileage out of Mega Fist. It's minus on block if you do the forward one, but you also got to be blocking it, which we haven't seen a lot of Bad Film yet.
They've DP'd it a couple times, but they've certainly been hit by it more.
Yeah, and that sweep reaches super far. Excellent RC.
Yep.
Wants none of that.
Oh,
Now remember,
to jump.
Good overhead. Good corner conversion.
The
Yes,
throw.
this is done.
Oh, the little basketball combo into a slam dunk. Why not? Round 1 of Game 3 going to Bad Film. Can they seal it out early? Or are we going to see a round 3? Are we going to see this go the distance? I think Bad Film is showing that we're not going to get there.
Bad Film is definitely showing an adaptation, and we haven't seen Tafe really answer in kind. We're also seeing Bad Film really capitalize a lot more on some of these scramble opportunities. Like, sure, when Pot's close, Pot is going to get a Pot Buster, but at these ranges that Bad Film is now...
Oh, here we go. Let's get this party started.
Speak of the devil. And we're close. And we're close again.
Slide. He's able to block it, so we only get staggered. There we go. Now we're on the ground. Pushes a button.
Ooh, excellent. Yeah, we're done.
Oh, no, he does
we're good,
have
we're
the
good, we're good.
extension. He does have the extension. You didn't show it last time, but I guess that was just for pressure. This time converts.
Yeah.
Shuts this one down before we go to a third round.
You finish your combo.
Yep.
I want to play as few. I want to play as few rounds against Potemkin as possible. So, like, if you're on the last round, you spend all the meter, you finish the combo, you do everything that you need to do. I thought that was an excellent adaptation on the part of Bad Film. We needed to see it more from Tafe. We needed to see Tafe being able to adapt to Leo staying just outside of Pot Buster range. And there were a lot of opportunities for Pot rarely tries to go for their bread and butter through just conventional confirms. Like, a lot of times you're just trying to set up a situation for you to get close. You're trying to set up a situation for you to sort of force the strike throw mix up with your incredibly damaging throw. But occasionally you just got to play footsies. And we did not. We saw Bad Film wise up to that and stay in that range and only go in when they had the back turn stance and they were just getting ready to, like, enter the blender. And that's honestly, like, the kind of mindset that you should get into versus Pot is, like, you don't want to be close to Pot unless they're knocked down and unless you're, like, able to force a great deal of meaty pressure on them. So, well done, Bad Film. Looking forward to seeing you in winners semifinals.
Yep, we will see them. They will be taking on the winner of our next matchup, Dr. Badfish and OG Legends. Our last, well, actually, maybe not our last matchup before top 8. We should catch the little shark round that we got coming up. That blood round of losers round 7. The touch before we hit top 8. Those 9th place finishes that sting so much. One of them's already started in Q-Chan against Princess Slim, who missed their call time, which is unfortunate. Solo player Sama, not Salmon, and Afterburn MK are currently 1-0 for Solo. And we just saw Lushi match reported takes it over Yokai. So there'll be our first qualifier, our second qualifier for top 8 from loser's side. Elkman already there as they took it. Oh no, they just end up there. Right.
Once again, while we've got a moment between rounds, just want to remind everyone that today's event is put on by the Gaming Stadium. And the Gaming Stadium, obviously, a great partner and sponsor of this tournament series. If you're looking for online esports coordinators, people to handle tournaments for you, or just general esports or esports game events, you can please consider the Gaming Stadium. They've been a friend to the fighting game community since they moved into town, and you can check them out at tgs.gg.
That you can. Also, I just realized I'm completely reading this wrong. These people are not in the blood round quite yet. They're one away. Lushi's in the blood round, and so is Elkman. But after that, it's we're still waiting on those losers matches to get there.
Birthday train. All right, so we have Dr. Badfish, who is clearly a memer and has played a Guilty Gear game before in their life.
Yep.
Both of these players have chosen victory at character select.
Yep. I remember watching Dr. Badfish. I think they played Jam a few times during the Guilty Gear XR tournaments that I was able to attend.
An excellent wall bounce confirmed for OG Legends. Yeah.
Oh, he's dead. Oh, he's not dead. No punish.
No. Not a great punish on the uppercut. Gets the command grab. Has a lot of meter to spend, so we're seeing a wall break. Dangerous situation. I wonder if Super would have come out in time and you could have just maybe, bro will seal the deal.
No longer matters. Puts him down. We're good to go into the second round. OG Legends after some strong combos and some good showings in neutral. It's just Dr. Badfish running strong pressure. That's going to put things through. He's going to keep that train going. Not just a birthday train, but a pressure train. But it's going to be a pain train just for a moment. OG Legends getting their turn in the corner.
Normal throws look so much more impressive when they hit Chip. And that could be it. We'll see if... No. Dr. Badfish, clearly a veteran of many Guilty Gears, as someone who runs Birthday Train as their matchup song knows. That's called a hero burst.
Yeah. No, California burst.
OG Legends really showing some strong corner control.
Oh, and he uses Fafnir to get the wall hit. That's just great presence of mind and understanding of your character. I would have never assumed that you were going to be able to get Fafnir in time, just given the startup on that move. But heck, here we are. OG Legends with game 1 looking great. Oh, that's going to sting. Look at that, half health.
Gets all hits of the uppercut. Gets the command throw. Doesn't have any meter to follow this up, but we'll see just a regular meaty and irregular work.
Yep.
We're seeing some buttons being hit. All right. Gets the wall break. Positive bonus. Doesn't have meter.
Whoa.
Soul's got the meter, which means we're gonna see an RC mix-up. There we go.
What a great call there from OG, and what great pressure from Dr. Badfish. Runs him down the chip.
Excellent uppercut.
He has him.
Ooh, that's why you gotta watch the meter.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Oh, go ahead.
Sometimes they're just gonna let it rip when they can RC it and make it safe.
It's the nature of the Soul versus Chip matchup. You're going to see explosive gameplay and, quite frankly, just literally fast gameplay from both characters. Simply anytime you see Chip on the screen, it's going to come through. But it's extra as such in this matchup because both of them want to play around the same range. The moment that someone gets a touch, they're just going to keep on their relentless aggression.
What a perfect YRC in that moment, recognized from the one hit of the Bandit Revolver that it's like, I want none of this mix. Good air throw. Now, watching for the meter, we're seeing Chip back off a little bit, baits the burst, and great presence of mind for Dr. Badfish. This is the very fast 1-1, and we're seeing both these players are just sitting at home sweating.
He's going to be in again. Badfish running off the momentum of the last game. He's just going to keep on pushing him down. Goes across, blocks it.
Yeah, great presence of...
Yep.
Oh. Okay, technically a DB punish. We're getting a little crazy up in here. That J2K is plus, unless you do something weird. Excellent conversion off the counter hit. For sure getting that wall crack. Getting, just getting the 5H. Just getting 50% damage on Chip.
Honestly, not a good combo if you're only getting 50% against Chip. I don't know, man. Hit the lag.
Yeah.
One more touch here for Badfish will get it. He does get him. Leg drops him.
Twitter has shown me anything, it's that Chip dies when you hit him.
Yep. You don't even need to do a combo. You just kind of smack him across the face and it's over.
Okay. Excellent presence of mind for OG Legends to continue blocking these Alpha Blades, and I wonder if we're going to see Badfish respond by just starting more mix. If Soul is giving you the window to do that, you have the window to do a lot of other things.
For sure, for sure.
Okay, J2K with the tricky air movement. And it's not even like OG Legends is getting like a punish from blocking this.
Right. Yeah, he's just having to try and track Chip down, which doesn't always work. Jumps around, comes back down with slash hits. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, excellent YRC. Oh,
big punish.
ERC forces the throw whiff. This is, I think, the future of meter management in this game. It's going to be all about forcing really long recoveries with BRC and returning to like a scramble neutral with YRC. Both these characters do enough damage without meter that maybe it's not going to be as necessary for them until they're getting a kill. Nice command throw.
The pressuring him, gets the hit. There's the burst.
Good burst bait. This should be it.
That is it. Through the wall up, perfect to seal it with a nice little bow.
Yes.
Dr. Badfish wraps it up. Really.
Badfish, you might be a memer, but you're okay by me. You might be a memer and a Chip player, but that was pretty nice.
How can the problems keep mounting up for him? I mean, hey, you know what? You get to skirt by for now. You don't need to worry about those problematic aspects of your life because look, you're in top 8 winners side. Yeah. One win, you put yourself into winners finals. It's that easy. I mean, you
excellently done for Mr. Badfish. And honestly, a round like that, the fear must have been present and just always in the back of his head. There were so many situations where bursts happened and got baited, and just the response was not murder. So, you know, there's a lot for both players to think about leaving that round. But obviously, congratulations to Mr. Badfish. You will get to birthday train someone else.
Keep it going. Keep riding the birthday train.
And I believe that is all of the winners.
It is
winners quarterfinals. We are going to take a break at some point soon. I don't know if we're doing any. Okay, we're going to hop into a break right away. So everybody sit tight. Remember to recycle. I'm looking at you. I'll be in the chat. I'll know if you're throwing your cans in the ocean. We're setting an example.
It's summer, so you hit the links. Take a road trip. Go for a bike ride. And recycle every drink container. In BC, it's just what you do. And now it's even faster with Express.
Without your love. Without your love.
Reclaim desk space, reduce clutter, and have a dedicated spot for all of your equipment. Toss in some products that look great and that you'll love using, and you'll be amazed at how productive you can be. For more information about these products and the rest of our lineup, check out cantoliving.com. And also look at the other videos on our YouTube channel for more helpful tips.
And we're back and ready to head into top 8. Gamble, who is on the block for round 1?
Well, I mean, when it comes to top 8, I mean, I don't want to go all the way back to round 1. No, but round 1 of top 8, we've got GIZMO and Psychotic coming up. Then we'll slip our way over into Bad Film and Dr. Badfish. You saw those two players get through on their matches just recently. And then over in top 8 losers side, we haven't actually decided all of that, or at least the players haven't come to an agreement quite yet on who won. Princess Slim is our first qualifier on one side, and we've got solo player Sama up 1-0 over OG Legends. Tafe and Lushi are playing, but both at 0-0. And Ruka and Mike Saftig are 0-0 in their matches. I'm sure you can hit exclamation point bracket if you guys want to check that out with a little bit more ease, because you'll be able to actually see it. But until then, we'll have this matchup right here between GIZMO and Psychotic.
All right,
those names
let us begin. Psychotic immediately has the corner, good eddy control, is going to start with a full stick of butter, so like really excellent burst. The danger of using any of your defensive options against Eddie in this matchup as a Zato player is that they make Eddie go away for at least 5 seconds. And GIZMO demonstrating excellent presence of mind knowing that, but honestly...
Overhead? No, just throws him!
The normal throw, so that's a Gobo setup. One of the premier Japanese players sets up a pose in the corner, runs up, normal throws you, and then a pose will actually hit you, so you get a full, admittedly Eddie-less extension afterwards.
I'll take it.
It's really tricky to look out for because like watching two characters at once, especially when they're that close together, is really tricky.
Absolutely.
GIZMO demonstrating kind of an unfamiliarity with the matchup and sort of walking into a pose in ways that we didn't see the last matchup go, where the Soul had much more awareness. But quick
conversion. Throws him out of the pressure. The pain of not having a projectile to do it for you.
Dang, the break the law feels like it was an intentional burst bait, but just came back up, and that's round 2 going to GIZMO.
Okay. GIZMO keeps themselves alive. Nobody's going to have burst to kick this one off, but Psychotic is pretty close to theirs if they can weather the storm that's about to happen.
Yeah, being in the corner as Zato with no meter, this is a dangerous situation, and you either want to reverse it with a knockdown. All right,
or just
breaking
slip right out.
Yeah, breaking the law, going underneath Giovanna during both hits of Pierce to get the cross up on Pierce and exchange position. Really smart play by Psychotic, but honestly, all GIZMO's got to do is hit you real hard and you die.
Oh, that's the burst! That's the burst. He thought he was going to follow up, but he hangs back just a little bit. GIZMO will catch that round, catch the burst, and catch themselves up by 1 game here in winter semifinals.
Reminder that this is going to be a best of 5, so it's going to be first to 3 for our players. Not a lot of reward off of Zato 6T, even off of counter hit. And Gio working with a full stick of butter. Yeah, Zato's just got to get out. You are an absolute danger versus character, and...
Oh, look at this. There's just so much lunge forward on each one of her moves, and it's the wall break.
And this is going to be a setup. Yeah, it ain't great for our boy, because Zato, one of the few characters that has no invincible reversal tool. Amorphous, you can kind of use, because as it starts up, it's coming out, but you could still trade, and in an instance there, a trade would still kill you.
Absolutely.
So,
this needs to be just pure control from Psychotic. He needs to get in, stay in, and lock him down. And here's that combo.
Uses the sword super so that we've got a meaty setup on the other side. We've got a full bar. Gio says, don't care about any of that. We're flipping. We're flipping.
We're the Incredible Hulk right now. One good touch.
So when she glows green, she's got added defense, she's got added damage, and she gets that state with 100 meter. That super into that wall break does so much damage. Quick game 2 for GIZMO. Psychotic has the tools he needs, but just is catching too many stray hits.
It's amazing how many of those raw supers, or at least DP-esque uses of that super they've landed. It's brutally impressive, and it's what's pushing them forward too. I mean, it won that entire game, or it won that last round at the very least, and we've seen it completely, weirdly enough, be an absolute reversal of the situation.
Yeah, it's like Psychotic has to be mindful of that. It's something where also the more meter Geo has, the more reward she's going to get off of it. Right.
Oh, got the burst!
Baits the burst, but the trade-off is losing Eddie.
But he has it back now.
Yeah, we're gonna get the wall break. We have Eddie back, and GIZMO has such a high success rate with just that's not invincible.
Nope.
You can meaty that, but it is a good knowledge check to be like, are your meaties good? Because if they're not, this is gonna counter hit, and I will get a lot of reward for doing this. Yeah, Geo Far as such a good multi-purpose button. It's an anti-air, it's a pressure tool, it helps her confirm into things. Her forward dash so fast, she's got, you may as well look at that Far S as having like half screen range.
Yep.
Okay, gets the full conversion, doesn't go for the super. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong bar. Alright, that's minus. Psychotic correctly takes his turn back. Isn't going to get this full extension off of this.
Oh, is he blocking? Nope. Another one.
There's a lot of situations. There's a lot of situations where Psychotic is getting a hit and can actually follow up with a significant follow-up combo, but just isn't connecting. And I wonder if that's the nerves. This should be a lot of damage right here.
There goes over half your life bar in an instant. Blink of an eye, gets the wall combo, gets the positive bonus. But can you actually do anything with it?
Listen, it's like they always tell you about eating fish. Don't do it in the corner. Don't eat frogs in the corner, don't eat swords in the corner. If you're gonna do any of those things, you eat them mid-screen.
Oh. I was very confused. I thought you meant, like, don't have a piece of halibut while you're sitting in the corner of a room. It was like, what old wives' tale is this?
I was having one on ya. Alright.
A little bit, yeah.
Zato, Crouch P, not a lot of reward you get off of that unless you're willing to RC. Gets that meaty overhead. Good presence of mind to jump out. Air throw's just a little bit too late. You can air throw Geo out of that flip. Yeah, uses the meter to just say no.
Plus, no reach. Well, he pushes.
Hey, minus but the RC. Goes in for the very quick throw attempt. Great presence of mind. Good YRC. Psychotic got the break the law cross up in that situation a number of times. Great use of Pierce to cover a bunch of different movement options, but at the end of the day, I think Psychotic is just leaving a bit too much damage on the table when he gets these stray hits. Yeah. Oh, God.
Here we go. Party time. Keeps him there a little bit longer. Does have Eddie back. That's why he's going to go for the YRC. Was hoping that 2S would allow him to get a block string started, but instead he's going to get himself back all the way to the corner.
Okay, yeah, uses just enough time to get Eddie on the other side. It's so important with him. Great air throw, great presence of mind that Psychotic is really starting to use. I think this is it.
That is it. All those hits and the wall, more than enough. GIZMO will push themselves forward, takes it 3-1 over Psychotic. Very dominant in the games they won, and even in the one that they lost, we're still looking like they were in some pretty solid pieces of control.
Zato, I'll tell you what, Zato is a strong character that has strong options, but has a lot of weaknesses. And GIZMO was really good at demonstrating some of those weaknesses. Zato crumples under pressure.
Yep.
Zato is very reliant on having like high execution and high awareness of when to get maximum damage off of Eddie. And the damage falls off a lot when you don't have Eddie. So anything like red RC, YRC, burst, all those things kill Eddie and just put you on the defensive. And Geo's so fast. She gets into you. She gets into that like threatening throw space with you so quickly. A lot of Psychotic's aerial approaches also just lose to Far S. I think it was definitely winnable, but we saw a lot of instances where like a random frog hit would happen and Zato wouldn't run up and get crouch S, and that's so critical, I think, to Zato's plan. You have to work so hard to get some of these hits, and you get, especially off of a frog starter, you get so much damage. You have to go take that damage, and we didn't see that for Psychotic.
Yeah, and it's going to be a big part of them succeeding in the future of this tournament. You know, if they're going to want to come back and get another run at GIZMO, if they get knocked into losers when they get to winners finals, or even if Psychotic wants to try and push through the rest of the bracket and get another swing at them, they need to be able to balance that. And if you can't balance that, then we're going to watch the exact same reaction. It's as simple as that. It doesn't need to be that complex of an explanation. You're going to lose. Well, welcome to the game. You lose now. It's as brutally simple as that, and it's as brutally painful as that. This
is a game about exploding or not exploding. But speaking of blow-ups, I want to take a minute to talk about Monster Cat Gold. Because if you're a content creator, you have definitely run into a situation where you used a little bit of music that you weren't supposed to, and your stream gets blown up, your YouTube gets blown up. Maybe you're one strike away from having your whole channel removed. And if you want all of your followers to be able to catch your daily reaction videos to terrible Strive situations started by Ramlethal, consider Monster Cat Gold. So, you know Monster Cat, they've got a large library of electronic artists and making EDM music for them. And honestly, a lot of that pairs really nicely with digital content creation in this world. So for $5 a month, they're offering a service called Monster Cat Gold. You get access to the whole library, you get all that electronic music, and none of it is susceptible to DMCA strikes. So that's tgs.gg/monstercat. But here we are. Dr. Badfish
taking on, just pull it open, Bad Film.
Bad Film.
On the
Sorry,
layout.
I am just agog at the fact that Dr. Badfish isn't playing Birthday Train. I don't know if they did that for me.
It might have just been a case that they had their music set to random. It could just be a different player in the player 1 spot that does it. Although Badfish is in the player 1 spot again, so hey, maybe not.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a coincidence gamble, but I'll tell you what, they're not memeing this round. Memeing is over.
Absolutely.
Gets the Air Alpha Blade, way less recovery on that version.
Ooh, big DP.
Yeah. You're invisible, you're still in front. You're still in front. Dr. Badfish with a great response. Any button there would have blown him up, but a throw absolutely beats shield. Using that 6H just for its incredible counter poke potential.
Big slashes. There's the throw, we're back turn.
And we're back turn.
Ooh, nice cancel.
Gets the wall break. Okay, now we're slowing the game down a little bit.
Yep.
Oh gosh, that was one flash kick away from death, Dr. Badfish. Bad Film, I'm certain, was looking for that.
Ooh, tried to catch him jumping over the projectile, doesn't give it to him. But he's got the DP, that'll seal. There's no burst to worry about. Badfish will drop the round. Bad Film brings this one to a tie game. Ooh, nice punish.
Excellent, just staying right outside the range. Great throw from Dr. Badfish. The mix-up that Leo has off of back turn, it's not super sophisticated. Bad Film, excellent anti-air. Bad Film went to try and get a little bit cheeky there. Taking some damage, taking some corner carry.
Heavy slash to end it.
Yeah. Positive bonus. Not running forward, not getting the most tension that Bad Film could be getting.
Yep.
But really slowing this down.
YRC, the throw, it's not going to seal it. Good YRC to get out.
Bounces him really far away. Oh, excellent JD, right over the fireball. Okay, Bad Film not biting. The J2K delivers chip right into Leo's waiting arms. That looked for sure like it was going to whiff.
That last little cut that Leo does at the top of his DP seals it out. And we're starting to see these players settle into an honest rhythm, too, in this fight. Both players want to play quickly, but Chip always wants to go. Leo wants to slow things down and explode when it's their turn.
Excellent throw. Badfish has demonstrated such a huge familiarity with that Leo option. And we've seen Badfell make the adaptation in their previous. That's a dangerous burst. Really giving Badfish a lot to work with here. You're walking into a chip with 100 meter, half their life left. This is a DPRC waiting to happen.
It's not going to come to that.
Doesn't even need it. Catches. Watch your ankles, fam. Great counter poke. We're seeing Badfell delay his starting sort of volley just enough.
Hard knockdown here off the super. What are we going to get off it? Oh, he tries to bait something out. It's not going to be given to him, but he's going to get the throw, and that's more than enough against Chip.
Oh, that throw does so much damage to Chip. Everything does so much damage to Chip.
Chip does so much damage to Chip.
Alright, we've actually... Something we've seen Badfell demonstrate a really good awareness and handling of is dealing with J2K. A lot of these J2Ks have been whiffing because Badfell is just taking to the sky immediately. Interesting delay there, not sure what that was.
Oh, big punish. Oh,
drops it, gets the overhead, doesn't get a full wall combo, but still putting Badfell in a bad situation. Still, 50 meter.
What a block.
Okay. Yeah.
So again, we're going overhead, we're going low, we're going everywhere.
Low.
Counter hit, can he kill? No, he can't. Not able to find anything off of the PRC to charge in.
Runs right into the J2K. Oh no. Tying it up. Dr. Badfish 1-1.
He'll be a ninja.
Man.
Listen, if it works for Chip, it'll work for everybody. This man went from a dispossessed, orphaned kid selling drugs to the president of a country that he made.
It's a hell of a life story.
That's a success story, and all it took was being a ninja. Alright, gets the wall break. A not terrible situation for Badfell. Badfell still got first, although... Okay, yeah. Corner situations like that, you want to use your 6th key to get out of... Great patience on Badfell's part not to use Burst. There were a lot of opportunities there where Burst could have been a appealing option, but one that gets you killed. You really want to keep that for when you really need it. Great catches, a backdasher, a jump out. Gets a throw in the corner. A slight mistime on the command grab, giving Leo an opportunity to get out. And we're not seeing the run through quite as much anymore. Badfell doing a good job of knowing when that doesn't work anymore. Yeah, uses the burst now to keep the corner.
Oh, big sweep.
Oh, big counter hit.
That's him again. Good overhead. We're gonna get an air combo off of that.
That overhead.
The ground and the wall break.
We've seen Badfish go to that option a few times with 50 meter. I wonder if we're going to see Badfell start to realize that, like, when Chip's got that RC potential, he is kind of favoring those sneaky...
Oh, and he did it there. He called it out. He's listening to you nicely. It's not going to matter.
Excellent, excellent.
Duel 3.
This has been a very close set, and I think that's largely in part to, like, both of these players have done a great job of, like, feeling each other out, figuring out what's working and not working.
We've still got a lot of set left to play. One of these players needs to get 2 more wins to seal it out. A lot going on that they can still change up.
A burst just to reset things to neutral. Gets a good command grab. Doesn't spend the meter there. Yeah, just runs through in case the J2K was coming. Are we going to see the RC here? We are. No burst available. This could be it.
Is it. Breaks him through the wall. We are out of game 3 into game 4 with Badfish having that small lead. But it's enough.
Duel 1.
The chat has made it clear whose side they're on.
They tend to.
And I'll say Dr. Badfish is going pretty radfish at the moment.
Huh? This is his chance to go insane, but no, he's actually going to get counter hit by that 2K. Unfortunate for the 6H. Would have been massive had he hit that. Could have shut this game down.
Gets the side switch. Surprisingly low reward off of that EP hitting. Dr. Badfish is really, pardoning the pun, going fishing with that 6H. We've seen them go for that a lot. The reward has never been super huge, but it seems like it's a strong enough option for Chip to sort of keep looking for. Nice throw on the Alpha Blade. Great presence of mind to the YRC, and uses the scramble moment to get a quick throw.
Duel 2.
Badfilm knows how to deal with Alpha Blade. It's just everything is going so quickly. You really never have the opportunity to breathe against a Chip.
Oh, he thought he was going to go for the third hit.
Great bait.
That's tough.
Yeah, what an excellent conversion from Badfish. It's really his show right now.
Already under half health is Badfilm. Dr. Badfish not far away though. One good touch from Badfilm could do it, but it's not going to matter. It's with the super will certainly live this.
Nice option select.
Oh, he's got him.
And we see the sneaky overhead.
Absol it's all that he needs to do, and Badfish
3-1.
Full force. Yeah, 3-1, the same as the other half of the bracket. Puts himself into winners finals, cements himself there quite nicely.
Honestly, great showing from Badfilm. There was a lot of adaptations there. Chip forces you to make a lot of decisions very quickly on the defensive, and we saw in situations where Badfilm was comfortable, Badfilm had answers for Alpha Blade. Badfilm had answers for the command throw. Chip is just exceptionally good at putting you in that situation so many times that you lose that comfort. You start to scramble, and that's where Dr. Badfish caught. There were a lot of just lows that tagged him. A lot of lows that tagged Badfilm. A lot of the bonsai overhead. The bonsai overhead is something that, like, as a person defending against Chip, you have to like train yourself to react to a little bit. But there are certain situations where just like if you're on the ropes mentally in a matchup, it doesn't matter if something is reactable. There's so many things going through your head at once that maybe that's just going to tag you. And Chip has the ability to like rotate through so many options that if you're so dedicated to keeping one of those in your head, if you're like, I'm going to react to the leaves, I'm going to do uppercut, or as soon as Chip disappears, I'm going to do uppercut, you run the risk of making yourself really susceptible to another option. Could have been a case of that there.
And you know what? That's what you need to be able to prey on as a Chip player. You need to be able to force that power. You need to be able to force that mental strain. I mean, as a whole, let's be real with ourselves. Guilty Gear is a very offensive, or at the very least, pressure-based game. Unlike many other fighting games where there's a level of neutral that isn't just, oh dear lord, yay, I get to hit him again. You know, this game is about
speaking
hold
of
him down.
neutral,
Yeah.
we got Princess Slim. She's been holding it down with that Axel.
Duel 1.
I'm deeply looking forward to this because this character is such a refreshing breath of fresh air in the absolute rushdown situation. You see her on the defensive. Great space control. Basically, Axel is all about angles.
Yep.
He has a button that can cover every angle. Great air throw. It's just a matter of being in the right spot and knowing what option
That was perfect.
That was perfect.
Duel 2.
That was an absolute rout from Princess Slim. Did not get touched that entire time. Hardly had to deal with the damn thing. But now, they're getting nothing but touched up. That's going to sting. There's the burst bait.
Great burst bait.
Oh, that's weak.
Okay.
I don't think they thought it was going to break quite yet.
They might have just canceled before the crack happened. Counter perfect. So, truly, we're seeing both sides of the Axel coin. Like, sometimes you keep them all the way out, and sometimes you don't. That's punishable. All right. Interesting use of the 6H there for Mike Saftig.
Mike holding their own here in the corner. More pressure going to be levered, but
Okay, great sweep. Scared, I guess, of the uppercut. Uh-oh. Vortex hitting usually spells a lot of damage. Mike dropping the combo. Great air throw by Princess. Air throw is such a good defensive
he's got
option. It's a lot bigger and a lot easier to connect with, and you can do it much sooner than you think. And that's honestly something that you can use to tell someone's familiarity with some of these like more high-paced games like that. Is as a defensive tool, it's very great, and it works in situations where you might not even think it would. Okay, yeah, using the backward special. I can't remember the name to save my life, but it keeps Axel at a decent space and a decent on block.
It's been a good showing from both players, but it looks like Mike is at least going to come out with this round, but Princess Slim not going to say die quite yet.
Right, gets the Axel bomber. Yeah. So interestingly, we're telling a lot about Mike based on where they're choosing to use their meter. Vortex is a great way to get in. It goes under a lot of the options that Axel wants. But on block, you can't force a mix-up the same way that you can with Bandit Revolver.
Right.
So the ranges at which Mike is switching into that, like, I'm gonna get in mode. This is one of the weaknesses of Vortex in this particular matchup, is Axel has moves that are specifically designed to beat you trying to chase him down. Okay.
Got him. Wasn't watching the toes for just a moment. That's all it takes.
A lot of perfects this round. Truly, the difficulty of this character is that if you play perfectly, no one can get in on you. But once you make that one mistake, it's really clear that you don't have a lot of ways to get out. Axel does have an invincible super. It's kind of tricky, but it's dangerous to use. We've seen Mike go for that charge just a number of times, and honestly, it's a slow option. You almost have to condition a player like Princess to be thinking about something else in order to hit that.
Absolutely. You know, the moment that you're too predictable,
there we go.
You're gonna get worked.
And we saw Princess, like, earlier this set so far, we've seen her trying to experiment a little bit with the command grab. That's, like, one of the first times that we saw it, like, sort of do work for us. Mike is staying in the air at certain ranges, or is reacting well to that. Yeah, like, there's sort of an aerial approach that Mike is often taking, and I wonder if
that needs to be settled down.
Ooh. Axel's Rensen, usually pretty safe, can do that cherry bomb, explosion bomb. This is the reversal that Axel has. Yeah, baited. What a great combo. A lot of that could have really caught a burst. Good presence of mind from Princess not to burst there.
Okay, gets himself out with Bandit Revolver.
Yeah.
It's been a unique escape option, but it's worked.
Ooh, yeah. Now uses the burst. Real hero burst situation. The life is pretty low.
Oh, goodbye.
That was not a hot burst.
Not in the slightest. And it's okay to kind of hero burst as Axel. You're pushing your opponent full screen, and especially against Soul, who doesn't have a projectile that you need to worry about just snapping onto you. You're
Misses
good.
the Axel bomber. Uh-oh. It is true. Like, the number of perfects that Axel has already got this set. Like, if you can keep your opponent out, it doesn't matter how much health you have.
Yeah. If I don't get hit, I can't lose.
Yeah. A lot of running and blocking. Really great control this whole round from Princess. We're seeing Mike staying on the ground a little bit more again, which could be dangerous. That's a quick 3-0.
Yeah, that was the swiftest we've seen. That is in Losers Top 8. So that's going to pop him into Losers Quarters now. We're going to jump over to TAFE versus OG Legends in a moment. But my goodness, Princess Slim just tore Mike asunder. I mean, there was no point where it felt like that they were actually going to get in and really ruin Princess's chances of winning that. It was all their game all the time.
There was the one perfect that Mike got, and
well, sure.
I think honestly, adjustments were made. Like,
yeah,
it's not necessarily indicative of a weakness on the player's part to be perfect. Especially when you're Axel, like you just don't have a lot of strong defensive options, and that's gonna happen sometimes. The fact that like every game after that, Princess was in immaculate control of the situation, rotating through options decently well, forcing Mike to stop considering the air, which is it's honestly half the battle for a lot of these zoning characters in Strive. It's like, how do I keep them out of the air?
Yep.
And the fact that she was so consistent with the 2S's, were spaced so well, her air throw game was on point, and all of those things, like, you have to be so strong with to convince a player like Mike, to convince a soul like that to stay grounded, that suddenly just doing like 2H and Rensen is working.
Yep, becomes more than enough tools to just shut down the entire game.
All right, Tafe is back. We've seen Tafe a couple times on stream. We've seen OG Legend on stream. Something that we didn't get to see super well in the OG Legend versus Dr. Badfish is that of the souls we've seen on stream so far, OG Legend is clearly one that operates at like a very high gear.
Right.
Like every decision is happening very quickly.
No need to wait. Let's just hit him.
And we've got to see if Tafe can adapt to this speed.
Looks like we forgot to faultless defense that. That's tough. Probably doesn't win the round off of that, but at least gives him a chance to keep pushing. Game's actually slowed down a lot. He's able to chop him out of that. That's massive.
Okay. Yeah.
That's just as big.
That's a big whiff. And OG Legend not leaving damage on the table, getting a lot of really strong conversions.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There's the
Vortex.
Fafnir, not in time.
Fafnir, just a little too late.
Okay.
Okay.
We go for it again, and we go for the
Ooh,
Mega
tries
Fist
to
after.
go for the
Wow.
Kara Mega Fist. Just a little bit off of that, and we're done. You saw the green ring for not even half of a second, and it was like, you're faultlessing against what? That's the last mistake you're gonna make that round.
Yeah.
Excellent meaty gun flame.
Shoulder
That's
check, not gonna work.
very minus on block. You've got to cancel that into something, but that's difficult since at that range you don't have a lot of options that Soul just can't 5k out of.
Not quite gonna finish the game yet, but he just runs up and throws him. Forced the fear after whiffing the move. You don't want to push because, oh no, I'm gonna get counter hit, but instead you just let him walk all the way in, and the throw seals him.
All right, early burst in this round. Yeah, that's a punish. Yeah, we're seeing Tafe really struggle to operate on this speed.
Oh, but there we go.
Yeah,
Catches him for it. Doesn't have anything to really follow it up except just the chase down.
yeah,
It's not gonna
can't-
matter.
With one of the fastest normals in the game that leads to excellent reward on hit, you really got to make sure your wake-up pressure is incredibly tight versus Soul. Which is hard because you're also trying to worry about that dang DP or that dang throw.
Yep. That strike throw game is always there for Soul, and it's just as prevalent as it has been before in this game. With that extra threat of, as you were saying, just so much more damage.
Excellent Mega Fist to hop over. Okay, baited the burst successfully, but didn't get a lot out of it. Ooh, yeah, you gotta be...
Nice shimmy. Got him for that one. No bar to get out. That's the round.
Crunch!
Great
Crunch!
stuff.
Duel 3.
That's how you're supposed to do it. That's how you catch
That-
someone.
Okay. There's been a few dangerous hammer falls.
Yep.
Tape really in a position where it seems like sometimes just kind of hope something is gonna work. All right, gets the counter hit. Mega Fist is minus on block. Yeah, go with the mix. Nice sweep.
Body splash, big damage.
Great damage. Whips the Mega Fist and dead for that.
Yep. Puts him down. OG Legends will be up 2-0 now.
Yeah, 2-0 versus Tape.
Can't keep up. They've had some moments. They've shown some strength in instances, but it's been little more than instances.
Yeah, gets the trade, not necessarily the end of the world. Nice use of the armor. Yeah, so we see run up 5k from OG Legends, trying to take advantage of 2 hits to maybe eat something armored. Well, blocking of Fafnir is not where you ever want to be. Great Mega Fist. Gets the side switch, doesn't get the full confirm, but at least keeps the corner and has a knockdown. Great presence of mind to switch sides. OG Legends. Back in the corner. Oh, we knew that burst was coming. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You're going into this next round with no burst.
Duel 2.
Is it gonna matter? You know, Pot is a lot of hits. Rarely do you get those. I mean, we saw 2 of them back to back, in all fairness. But you don't typically have a combo that is going to force out burst all that off.
Okay, gets the counter hit. Doesn't choose to tag off the OTG. Ooh. Ooh, these whipped Mega Fists have been just landing Tafe in such trouble. Soul has been and to the credit of OG Legends, they have been doing a great job. Ooh, I think that was supposed to be another Kara back Mega Fist. That's a hard thing to do, but it recovers a bit faster. It gives you slightly more damage opportunities. Kara-ing off Pot's forward K is super critical to this match, and it makes all of his inputs a little bit harder.
Counter hit. Say goodbye to most of your life. No, didn't get enough distance.
Misses the Kara again, I think.
Okay. Still in this, both sides push this one in their favor.
Oh.
Nice hit, burst. Tried to bait it, couldn't wait on both ends.
Yeah, that seemed like a bait was coming and not confirming it. Yeah.
Should be able to set him down.
Here we go. Yeah, Tyrant Rave.
And it rammed.
And that's going to be 3-1, sorry, for OG Legends.
Shuts him down with some reasonable strength there, OG Legends. There was some points where Tafe looked like they were going to steal it away, but they hung on. They knew exactly what they needed to do to get things done. A great conversion at the end of that round to seal things up, and it was just well-spaced moves and just really condensed pressure. It was never really overstepped their bounds. It was nice to see.
We saw OG Legends stay really safe. They aren't trying to steal their turn. They were conservative with their meter usage. They were using it for RCing Bandit Bringer to like create situations where the mix-up is pretty forced. I think for Potemkin sort of walking away from that round, you have to think of situations where like you had the situation, you had everything you wanted. You had the corner, you had the knockdown. There are situations where there just wasn't enough. There just wasn't enough in those situations where it mattered. And as we saw, a lot of that matchup, the Soul has such control over the neutral most of the time that when Pot gets those situations that they can convert into huge damage, they really have to convert into huge damage.
Yeah, you can't afford to waste those. Because if you do, I mean, you're simply going to get run over. Sorry, my contact's bothering me. I'm having a little trouble focusing.
It was a very touching match, yeah. I understand.
It brought me to tears, exactly. But hey, that wraps up losers round 1. I'm sure we're going to continue with the losers side of the bracket. As we should have, I guess, Bad Film against Princess Slim should come up next. Yeah, and that's what we'll have. Leo into Axel Low. I mean, I don't want to be a part of this matchup ever. I hate Axel, man. It's a hell of a tough time. Let's see if it can be navigated. Nice cross up there. Goes to the overhead. He's actually going to completely call it out with the invincible reversal. Nice use of the super, and we got full screen again.
Slim, such such fantastic control of the neutral, but really a weakness of Axel is your opponent really just needs to get lucky once.
Right.
And suddenly you're playing a very different game, a very different matchup. Excellent call out with that bar S. Alright, cherry bomb, cherry bomb. The most frustrating thing if you're fighting Axel is that any cherry bomb knockdown leads into a meaty Rensen.
Right.
You just gotta deal with more of that. Great throw. Goes for the meaty, mistimes it slightly. Goes for some very safe pressure, tries to bait something out there.
Big counter hit.
It's the
Gotta
counter
work
hit.
off this.
Here we go, RC.
Leg? No, double up on the gold.
Yeah.
Charge at him. Not gonna get the cross up. Doesn't matter. There's the burst. It's not baited. Taps him. There's the throw. Shuts it down.
Yeah.
It's a slim
Perfect.
drop around in this game.
It's been known to happen, but they are doing so incredibly otherwise. It's really a treat to see like a completely different approach to the game work. Bad Film is showing a lot of respect, which is just opening up windows for that command throw to work.
Yep.
Great patience on both of them after that PRC. Goes for the command throw. I think that was slightly mistimed. A lot of throw opportunities.
Oh man.
Okay, goes for the OTG. Was worried a little bit there that maybe you're gonna leave Leo alive, which is a dangerous proposition.
Yep.
But Princess takes it 1-up.
Mankind. Duel 1.
Yeah, that is a strong final round there from Princess, reestablishing dominance, forcing Bad Film to have to fall back into a mentality of respecting their moves. As you said, there's a lot of problems that can be. There's a lot of problems that can be put forward from here on.
Ooh, great burst. Oh,
Say goodbye to your round.
real.
Okay, maybe not. Real.
That jump FD, I wonder if Princess was trying to bait a burst, but the burst had already happened? That was a very confident jump up in FD. I wonder if that was a messed up input for the instant DP. Okay.
Blue RC to get out. I like it. Anything for the distance, and there's the clothesline, but it's not going to seal. That will. So. Yeah?
We're seeing Bad Film make the adaptation slowly, but it costs you a lot. A lot of this matchup is how much life it's going to cost you to get your chance. Excellent super. And now you're back in this situation.
Yep. Oh man. I'm gonna finish the point anyways, but we're seeing a lot from Princess Slim that we did in aspects of GIZMO's gameplay on the Giovanna. Raw supering and using that armor to reset situations or to find damage in Gizmo's case. I mean, it's been brilliant from Princess Slim when it comes to the meter management. In a very simplistic manner, too.
Yeah, I mean, if you're making all the right decisions in neutral, you don't need complicated execution, and you don't need to be really diving into the esoterics of the game. You just need to be staying safe, letting your opponent make mistakes, and capitalizing when they do so. Gets the instant Axel Bomber off of the jump cancel. So, at about half screen, it's a weird range where any of the Rensen follow-ups that Axel can do, there's an answer to. So, really, it's only when you're like... Yeah, so the situation's like that. Excellent PRC, gets the meaty Rensen, goes for Cherry Bomb. Cherry Bomb you can jump, there's a few ways that you can get out of it. But if you block it, it's a significant amount of chip, and it leaves Axel quite plus. That's a quick 3-0.
I mean, that was just clinical. the
That
entire
was
way through.
light work from Princess. They are doing a great job of just playing a strong neutral game, not overextending, keeping their distance, and really letting their opponent make mistakes.
For sure.
You know, a fighting game, you know, it's like chess, but it's chess that's moving very, very quickly. You can never assume someone's going to play perfectly. But something that even back from their Street Fighter days, as like a Rashid stand fierce advocate, one of the first Rashid stand fierce advocates I ever knew was Princess, and we played a long set on Combo Breaker, and she wasn't killing me, I was killing me, and
Sure.
that's the power they have, is they're so good at just focusing on, I'm not going to overextend, I'm going to let you overextend, I'm going to punish you for doing so. Axel is I think such a good fit for them in that instance.
Yep.
So it's and it honestly, it's glad to see in a game where so many characters just make you explode. This is a more methodical approach to the game that I find very refreshing.
Oh, for sure. And it's that nice control of neutral that I really have to respect from Princess Slim. Using the PRC once, like having the meter to be able to PRC in general was nice to see that they were controlling it that nicely, and having it for when they did get caught after getting hit from mid screen or from that mid screen approach. But it's so many great reactions, so many good call outs at full screen, and just understanding the little reptile brain that sits in our head and says, hit him, yeah, get him.
It's time to make bad decisions, and quickly.
Yeah, like, because you and I were having this conversation off stream, but the moment that you start getting zoned out, it's just like, man, I am sick of this. I either want to be in and winning, or just done and gone. Just let me go.
Yeah, there's kind of an impatience that shows up when you start taking just random hits at full screen, and you've really got to be good at conquering that and learning to sort of keep the lizard brain in check. But I want to take this opportunity to talk about another one of the groups that is helping make this event happen, and that is Kanto. So if you're looking for the final piece, the pièce de résistance for your work from home setup or your gaming setup, or if you're like me, that's the same setup, you can find everything you need to build a better workstation or a better game station at cantoliving.com. They've got monitor mounts, they've got speakers, they've got stands, they've got a lot of accessories and a lot of things that you can pick up that really help you customize your space and make it your own.
Yep. They've got black, they've got white, what you need.
Yeah. And they're a friend of the stream, so check them out at cantoliving.com.
We'll be jumping into another match pretty quickly. We should be looking at Psychotic against OG Legends, which is that a run back? No, they're on the opposite sides.
No.
They're on the opposite sides. I'm crazy.
Yeah, they're on the opposite sides.
That was Elkenham. That was the soul that he'd fought. Yeah,
we did just see OG Legends. We saw OG Legends navigate the pop matchup incredibly well. We've seen Psychotic struggle a little bit with Soul. And OG Legends is really, like, I think, stood out as the Soul that makes you play at their pace more than anyone else.
Right.
So that'll be, I think that's an uphill battle for Psychotic. We've seen that once they're in their element, they're thriving. Once they're, calm and collected, they're getting those eddy conversions. If you eat frog in the corner, there's just so much damage on the table for Zato.
Yep.
But on defense, he does wilt. He does wilt a lot.
Yeah.
Duel 1.
So take advantage of it.
Let's rock.
Yeah. We're seeing a lot of respect immediately from OG Legends. Really waiting for an opportunity where Psychotic overextended. Yeah. Uses the burst just to make it stop. Okay, Soul gets stuck in the opposed. Gets not a full corner conversion because there wasn't enough Eddy bar. Well, it takes the wall break, takes the extra Eddy bar from Sword Super. Yeah, works hard to get corner. Excellent use of throw. Zato throw is also something that you absolutely have to respect in the
big
corner.
wild throw.
Speaking of throws that you have to respect, wild throw will just make you explode.
Got a good bit of damage behind it. You will put down anyone in that 10-15% of their life bar.
Okay, we're seeing Psychotic try and get a little tricky with the air movement, but it's not quite enough. You really, you really got to measure and plan as Zato and as a number of characters. Like, I want to approach from the air. I have strong options in the air. I've got strong movement in the air, but 5K is a very good button, and this is it doing what it's designed to do. How do I play around that? How do I beat that?
Ooh, he actually backdashes on that one, expecting him to react. Psychotic there, not in time on that one there.
Yeah, covers for Eddie, gets the drill, good burst, resets the whole bar. We're starting from the beginning. Okay, that situation can be airtight, but in situations where it's not, you absolutely can just mash your way out. Fish in the corner, this should be the wall break. The wall break saves Soul's life. Excellent air throw.
Nice pressure, but he backs off. Doesn't want to risk it. Willing to play this one from full screen. Gets the kick. Tries to push the far
without
side.
Eddie. Zato without Eddie is really goes for the hero burst. He just needs such a little bit more and finds it with that 6B. One thing you really got to be mindful of this matchup, and we've seen OG Legends be mindful of in this matchup, is how much bar Eddie has left. And if Zato hasn't correctly managed that meter, the recovery period is just Zato is going to be running. Zato is going to be running away, and it's just in your courts to go chase him. Okay. Gets the overhead, but the frame trap was just not tight enough and loses Eddie for it, and therefore all the damage. Okay. Pretty common setup for a strike throw mix-up. Okay. Great blocks on Psychotic's part. Isn't going for the sandwich at mid-screen, really just trying to get that last smidgen of damage in. And we're seeing Psychotic start to go for drill a little bit more, because if you're gonna choose to press buttons and go for an Abare situation or just use your incredibly fast button, Pierce, the 2 spear move, has a gap. Soul can take advantage of that, and Soul has blown up a number of situations that Psychotic would have got a mix-up from just with a really fast button. Ooh, excellent defensive option to backdash out of what was going to be a really long recovery. Good bait. Not a ton of damage. Vortex in the wall. Oof.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Deeply upsetting for us. Loses Eddie right away. Okay, goes for a Pierce setup, gets a sandwich with the frog, doesn't have time to move Eddie back far enough to really continue that combo. Yes, excellent. Baits the 5K. Okay, gonna come. Nope, just gonna send Eddie right home. Oppose will eat anything. That was a really cute break the law, but sometimes cute things get you killed. Oh, great double overhead from OG Legends. Doing such a good job of rotating through all of Soul's myriad offensive options.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Alright, going into game 4 here. Good throw. First, just to get space back. Good oppose. Not a counter hit. Not quite enough time to set up the full fish sandwich. Full frog sandwich. Ooh, great low. Such a powerful tool that Soul has with the RC to Bandit, bringing her to force of 50-50. Invite Hell is a very powerful grounded option, but because it's out for so long and has such significant recovery, aerial approaches blow it up pretty easily. Such a great corner carry, such a great pickup from OG Legends. Okay, the sandwich is established, the frog is in there. Didn't have the meter for sword. Slightly mistimed some meaty. Okay, yep. Oh no, mistimes that pickup slightly. But a great turnaround for Psychotic. We're seeing a lot of... Oof. Soul has super strong air-to-airs, and if you know that Soul is trying to meet you in the air, that's when it's time to really bring out Frog a little bit more. Great backdash. Immediate reapproach. Gets the Frog. Chooses to just go for some safe pressure rather than a combo extension. On the ropes now with Eddie recovering. Great use of the YRC to just buy some time. Oh, very ambiguous Frog with it off screen. Could never forget about Eddie while the meter is still blue. Great control, great tech. And admittedly, a pretty clear situation as to like what could go on there in this situation where you run or you slide underneath somebody and you see them PRC or RC right away, but the tech window in this game is still quite small. Seeing OG Legends really choose to turn up the heat. You know, if you're having a hard time and if the Zato player is adapting to your neutral situations, sometimes if you just force the scramble, the reward that you're going to get is going to be a lot higher than the reward Zato's going to get. Okay. We're seeing a lot more Frog from Psychotic. Great, then this will hit. Yes. Get the sword super, go through the wall, get Eddie restored. Absolutely love the Gobo. Gatefish and dead. Psychotic is turning this around. This is a beautiful adaptation on their part. Great answer to the Gunflame. Tries to go for kind of like maybe a cute like double overhead setup in the air, but just didn't have... Big counter hit. Nice burst. Great. Soul is being super active after any of those situations. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, absolutely. We need to reset this pressure. The great position for Fish to whiff or for Frog to whiff in. One day I'll remember what animal that is. I've lost my caster. I do not know if Gamble is saying anything.
No, I haven't been. I was letting you take it. Yep. No, go ahead. Go on.
I really want to see Psychotic bring this back because they've just grown so quickly into the ins and outs of this particular Soul. Oh. Great air throw. Like I said, a very strong defensive option. Yeah. Still gets to keep the corner. Great tech. Uh-oh. Unfortunately, Zato doesn't get a ton off of 6P. Oh, the whiff invite health. Great first bait. This isn't going to do it quite because Frog is going to push too far away. And the super ambiguous Frog, one of the great little tricks that Zato has is that while Zato's flying, you can't see what Frog's doing. You can't see what Eddie's doing. There's a lot of opportunities for something really sneaky there. And that was such an uphill climb. Sorry, I get really excited when I see Zato. I had to just go nuts.
No, absolutely. Character's extremely fun to watch. There's a lot going on at every point in time. Every point in time, as you know, there's Eddie that you got to watch for. There's the actual positioning of the Zato player. There's the risk gauge that you need to worry about for the opponent. You know, how much can I get off of this? Have I filled the risk gauge? There's looking at your own meter. You know, look at your tension bar. Hey, what can I do with overhead right now? There's a lot that you get to do as Zato at any point in time, and getting to watch that as a caster, it gives you a lot that you want to say about it. Pardon me.
Well, I think that was that our last losers match?
It's our last losers match before we need to dip into winners finals.
Yeah.
So we've gone through our quarter side.
Pardon?
We're gonna take a
Yeah. So we're going to take a break. Before we take a break, though, perfect opportunity for a quick shout out for the host of today's event, the Gaming Stadium. So I see that there's 109 people watching, and if 109 of you are interested in a company that focuses on coordinating esports events or competitions, the Gaming Stadium has you covered. They want to be the premier sort of venue for that in Canada, and they are leaders in online esports events and tournaments. You can check out the action at tgs.gg, and obviously we're very happy that they're hosting this every Tuesday for the month of July, and hopefully maybe into the future. You know, we love some strive here, so give some love to the Gaming Stadium, and we're going to catch you when we come back for the rest of Top 8.
See you in a few.
It's summer, so you hit the links. Take a road trip. Go for a bike ride. And recycle every drink container. In BC, it's just what you do. And now it's even faster with Express.
Without your love. Without your love.
Reclaim desk space, reduce clutter, and have a dedicated spot for all of your equipment. Toss in some products that look great and that you'll love using, and you'll be amazed at how productive you can be. For more information about these products and the rest of our lineup, check out cantoliving.com. And also look at the other videos on our YouTube channel for more helpful tips.
Okay. Well, hey, we're back into it. We're into top 4. We'll be kicking it off with winners finals between GIZMO and Badfish, the Giovanna up against the Chip. Both with their back up against the wall, really wanting to be on that winner's side of grand finals, not wanting to have to take the fight against one of the winners, well, not one of the winners, but one of the potential winners from the loser's side of this bracket, either Psychotic or Princess Slim. And from what we've seen of the Zato for Psychotic and the Axel Low for Princess Slim, I don't want to be anywhere near it. I don't want to have to deal with any of that, but they won't have to quite yet, as it'll be Chip against Giovanna, as I said just a moment ago.
We're about to be near it.
Duel 1.
We're about to be
gonna
near
be pretty
all
close.
of it. What is this round's
come on.
turn?
There's no way. You were saying it earlier, he gets away with a ton of those. GIZMO hits that all the time.
We've seen... That's the scrambliest round start that I've seen. And I'm really, really convinced that that's indicative of just the pace we're going to see this match.
It makes sense. You're going to see a lot of, a little bit of mid-screen poking from Giovanna, using that bar slash to as great of an advantage as possible, forcing Chip to sprint their way in, double jump around, and it's becoming that almost immediately. Just a question of getting that one touch to be able to get things going. Ooh, okay.
Very good opportunity with all that was happening on screen in the corner there to charge up a dust and conceal that. Super clever on Dr. Badfish part.
Is he blocking? He's not blocking, he's backdashing. Another one will catch for GIZMO on that raw super.
I'm going to say that both of these players are going to get a very high heart score at the end of this set.
Ooh, finally pokes the pressure. But it's not going to matter, he's just going to get routed for it.
Falls right into a trap.
Oh, no throw, backdash, catches with a knee. Get things going. Just again for that combo extension. Not going to be able to find that hit, though. It's going to cost him the throw. Yeah, that's exactly how I'm feeling.
To have the presence of mind to backdash that can, again with this round start DP.
I'm going to jump.
We're gonna be hearing counter hit a lot.
Absolutely. You know, Giovanna is looking for those opportunities, and Chip wants to kind of play on the edge, play a little bit risky. Oh,
seems like kind of a mistimed throw attempt there. Chip is gonna reverse that. take positive bonus. Almost has full meter. Not sure what he's going to do with it.
Anything he wants at this point. You know, we saw that dust combo, or that dust pressure setup earlier. Might look for that again, but they're actually going to opt through the super. There's no way this kills. Not even close. Still a good couple hits away. Goes for the low, the throw. Shuts it down. And Dr. Badfish finds themselves with round 1, much to the audience's enjoyment.
If I were Dr. Badfish, I would not think that I have this under control quite yet, because that was a seat of the pants victory. Finally overcoming the round start DP option.
It's a good way to kick things off, though. You know, being able to find that win, forcing your opponent to think that they're on the back foot, that they need to do something to change up their fortune. It's nice to have that little bit of breathing. Oh my goodness.
Excellent presence of mind to interrupt the overhead, only to then run into a DP. It was going to be such an uphill climb for GIZMO, even if a reversal was starting. We're seeing Badfish start to get a little bit comfortable with uppercuts, which, with how dangerous that can be for Chip to whiff or even have blocks, I think indicates a comfort with GIZMO's patterns.
Oh, and down he goes. Comfort in the patterns for sure. That command grab off right after the wall break puts him up 2-0. Dr. Badfish is sprinting towards grand finals. No hesitation here.
Nice throw.
Yep. And a little bit antsy with those reversals now. Doing them just to kind of put it out there for the sake of putting it out there.
There's a lot of things that you're going to do versus Chip, especially with how unreactable some of his movement is, that's predictive. You know, it's the Lisa Simpson, Bart Simpson, I'm just going to start swinging my arms, and if you happen to run into it, that's on you. But Dr. Badfish, he's clued in, he's keyed in, he's on, and GIZMO, well, we're going to round start DP again, and it's going to work again.
I mean, if it's not broke.
I think Badfish is trying to get out right now, and it's costing him everything.
That is everything right there. Gets himself the round. GIZMO will need one more, but they need it all the time to keep themselves alive.
The big hill to climb for GIZMO.
Every hill takes one step to start it off. That's a big first step. Look at that. Chip already down into the 50-45% health range.
Yeah, counter hit close. Oh, that's...
Reverse.
That
Good
was...
timing.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That hero burst did not pay off.
Had the burst, though. That's the final round. But you were saying that they were looking for something. You kept saying that was.
I think with Chip, with the way that Chip moves,
Yep.
you're always kind of expecting either a very, very fast ground approach or a very fast low to the air approach.
Sure.
Or a much slower but much harder to pin down, like meandering high air approach, because Chip's got 3 jumps, extra air dashes, and
Unique
so
timing of 2K.
yeah, the unique timing of 2K to really come down when you don't expect it. It seems like we've lost connection with the players, so we're gonna chill out for a little bit whilst we wait for them to come back.
Hang out, have fun.
This is the last, so that break was the last break. We're gonna finish the rest of the tournament, which means that this is my last chance to tell you about recycling.
Ooh, true. It's a good time.
Listen, if you're anything like me in this heat wave, you went through about 130 LaCroix. And at the end of the day, I put them in the recycling bin and I got precisely $0 for them because I was like, I do not want to sort these into piles. I do not want to sort my LaCroix cans with my milk cartons, etc., etc. I didn't know about Return It Express until this stream started. So it turns out that there is a service that takes away sorting. It takes away lineups. You don't have to handle cash. They direct deposit money to your account. You literally just go dead drop all of your recycling. It's as easy as that. And I guess other stuff about saving the planet. I don't know. I could have bought a PS5 with all the cans that I just gave to somebody else. So don't be like me. Sign up for Return It Express. It's returnit.ca/express. Do it for me. Do it for the environment. Do it for all the money that you're going to put right into your pocket so that you too can wait in line for PS5.
Exactly. Get yourself a PS5 and find yourself in a situation where you can never block overheads online. It's a great time. It's a great time. Why would I want to block an overhead when I can just get hit by it instead and watch the cool little cutscene as I dance up into the sky and get slammed viciously back down to Earth?
As an Eno player, I would prefer if everyone were playing on PS5 at all times.
Dear God. You're a monster.
Please buy a PS5 so that I can mix you to death.
Buy a PS5 so I can be Celestial today.
I am Celestial, pardon you.
Oh, good for you. I've had 2 promos and I broke on both of them. Could not put it through.
Celestial is very stressful for me. I find it very nervous. It actually created the same nervous energy that I had when I go to a tournament, which I thought was really cool. In the moment,
promos for it?
The promo matches for Celestial. Yeah. I got super nervous doing that. Which for me, in the moment I hate it. And afterwards I'm like, wow, I had to overcome my nerves to get into Celestial. I'm not good enough to stay in Celestial, so I'm gonna have to do it again next month. But that's almost good. I had to keep composed, operate under pressure, and that's an interesting thing that they're training you to do, which feels in a certain way, especially for a player at my level, where it's I'm not a pro.
You're good enough.
I'm good enough that I could take a couple rounds, but I'm also bad enough that I won't punish Cammy DP on stream versus NL at Combo Breaker, the most publicly televised humiliation of my life. And thanks to Celestial Realm, I'm a little bit.
Was there another one that was publicly televised?
I mean, I've taken a lot of L's on stream. And if you don't recycle, that'll be one more L I'm taking. So everyone get on Return It Express.
Get yourself a PS5. Buy this game again.
Yeah, get yourself a PS5. Don't block any overheads.
Don't block a single overhead in your entire existence.
I was watching NLBC, the one that was on PS5, and admittedly, maybe I'm willing to trade the inability to react to anything, because if you don't know what we're talking about, someone recently did some input delay tests, and PS5 apparently worse than PS4, which is nuts, because the game is gorgeous. I can't run it on high settings on my toaster of a computer. So I've been running it on medium settings the entire time, and seeing it in the way that Daisuke intended, maybe eating all the overheads in the world would be worth it. It was gorgeous.
It's a good time. It's a pretty beautiful game with a brilliant soundtrack to back it. It's an all-around fun time. Are we going to get back to the fun time? No. The fun time is going to finish off screen. Dr. Badfish will lock himself in as the winner. We'll take it 3-1. We weren't able to cut back into the arena to catch the back end of that, but we will see GIZMO later on as the fighter of the winner for losers finals match between Princess Slim and Psychotic. Who you got there? Let's make a quick bet. I don't know why we haven't been doing it all stream. We get some gambas in chat. We run those. But who do you think takes it between those two?
The thing is that I am a sucker for Zato. I want Zato to do well, but we've seen Princess play with such immaculate control of neutral, and it's not like Soul or Leo versus Axel, where it's when Zato forces the first mistake, you're in deep. It's Zato's got to force the first mistake to get a knockdown to even get his stuff started.
Right. I will say, since Prince... Oh, sorry, you had more. Go ahead, go on.
No.
Duel 1.
Okay. Well, then I'll say that other than one game, Princess has won... Or sorry, no, since being sent to losers, they've only dropped a game.
With just absolutely solid play.
They dropped one. Yeah. It's absurd. I would, if I was able to bet on this match through channel points, 100% I'm putting my money on Princess. Not that Psychotic isn't great. I've seen amazing things from Psychotic in a multitude of games, but Slim has been on a tear.
Yeah, absolutely. If I were betting with my brain, I think I'd be betting on Princess, but I bet with my heart.
That's fine. And you might end up being right.
We'll see. We'll see. This is a difficult, a really difficult position. As tricky as Zato's air movement is, it is slow. And anything that locks you into a relative, like, confined space on the screen just gives Axel time to get in the position for the perfect anti-air.
And Axel has a good number of those suckers.
Sure does. That said, I really like Psychotic's slow, very methodical approach. It's one of the slower approaches we've seen to this matchup so far.
And unfortunately, it's forced upon him as opposed to it being the choice that's being made. If that makes sense. Like, Zato has no choice but to approach slowly, otherwise they will get obliterated for it.
Yeah, Axel, not known as one of the characters with the fastest buttons to press, which means that that gap that Princess was able to 2K out of is really quite large. Which means that that's a dangerous setup to go to a number of times. It's the first time Psychotic's gone for it in this set, but in previous sets, Psychotic's gone to that a lot. It's possible that, like, that's just something that they're going to really automatically once they get that situation, but Princess has had the presence of mind to mash out of it the first time it showed up, which means either that they're aware of that setup because they've watched Psychotic play in earlier games, or that's just something that's a level of matchup familiarity that you would know if you play a lot of that. Same with that.
This is looking amazing for Princess already. But this is where we get pressure, doesn't cross up, stays on the same side, and actually manages to handle all of that pressure. Just brilliant blocking the whole way through.
We see Psychotic kind of going for already like the layer 2 of that break the law mix-up that stays same side, because Psychotic had the opportunity to cross up. But I think Psychotic is operating under the understanding that Princess is familiar enough with Zato to know what that is and what to look out for.
Oh, wow, actually dashing in, completely avoiding her originally very safe game plan, but it's paying off. One little touch will seal it, but it's going to be a touch in the other way.
Oh, what a surprising turnaround for Psychotic.
It looked like it was over for him. He'd been pushed out. Princess Slim was setting up some Oki, and it just did not come to fruition.
Just so many empty jumps on the part of Psychotic, really making sure to not eat an anti-air whenever it can be avoided. Uses that 2P mash. Zato, it doesn't get a lot of tools to just get somebody off of them. And 2P, very little reward, but at least you can get out of pressure that way.
Oh, I didn't expect that kick to get there in time, but Psychotic on that swing in doesn't have it pay off for him.
Yeah.
Oh, nice catch.
Axel's close S goes right above his head.
Doing a good job so far. Psychotic finally getting touched up after just nearly 10 seconds of pressure.
Nice damn Fang. This gets all the Eddie meter back and the corner. This is a great position to be in.
Oh, that's not.
I don't know that you wanted to throw Axel out of the corner to play this game again.
I do know you didn't want to throw Axel out of the corner. I am very confident in that statement.
Oh, really? Shoutouts to Psychotic for watching for that command throw, doing such a good job of just not falling for the really obvious setups. And obviously, the closer you are to the opposite edge of the screen, the faster it is. Gets these throws. Great first bait.
Gets around it. Is able to. I'm not sure if they were close to trading, but it didn't end up being as such, and Psychotic puts themselves on the board. Princess Slim, their first game lost since the beginning of their entry to losers.
We're really seeing now kind of how you have to approach the Axel matchup. several other characters sort of ran. Oh, love the Gobo. Several other characters ran into Axel being like, as long as I can force the one hit, it doesn't matter how much damage I take. And we've seen Psychotic take a much more measured approach of, a lot of the time, try to avoid taking unnecessary damage.
Oh, absolutely. You don't have the world's biggest health pool to work with as Zato. It's not like Soul, who's, I think, 4th healthiest in the game when it just comes to being at 100% life. You need to be careful. You need to understand that you're working with a paper-thin skin.
Yeah, both of these characters sit on the low side of average health or effective health. Okay. Psychotic really falling victim to just situations where they're leaving too large of a gap and losing Eddie for it.
We go.
What a good throw!
Absolutely, it's going to allow for so much pressure here. They're actually still playing a close offensive fight. The PRC is going to be costly. That forces out the burst, and now Psychotic's going to have to play amazingly, but it's not going to happen quite yet. That'll seal it.
Oppose normally such a strong tool for Zato to be like, you cannot hit me anymore, I've got my shadow that'll armor through any hit. But Axel just has a command throw, and if you're going to spend that long full screen not moving, you're going to get gripped.
Yep, yeah, you absolutely are. You need to make a choice, but at the same time, you really don't want to make a choice because it's going to end up hurting you. More often than not.
Ooh, big counter hit.
So Zato, I looked it up to make sure, but Zato and Axel have almost effectively the exact same health. Axel has rank 1 guts, whereas Zato has rank 0. That's the only separation on the health side of things. Pardon me.
Oh gosh.
It's good stuff coming out here from Psychotic, but he's gonna get counter hit on that approach. Princess Slim. We're gonna wrap this one up in a nice little bow.
Ah, gosh. I think it started to go. Oh.
Wow.
Tried to FD.
Yep.
Tried to avoid a chip death situation.
Not
Can't
chip.
FD. Get gripped.
Yep. Hard to. Last time I FD'd Potemkin Buster, it didn't go too well. It looks like it goes about the same with Axel's command grab. It's not much of a switch up there. But it was a switch up in the pressure. You know, what they were showing was a lot of cherry bomb from long distance, and then they started mixing in the command grab, and it terrorized Psychotic's defense. Still an amazing showing from them. 4th in the inaugural TGS tournament. Mm-hmm. And it's not the end of, I mean, no disrespect to them, I don't want to leave them hanging. It's not the end of Princess Slim's run. They're going to get a crack at GIZMO, and potentially, if they can push it forward, they'll get a shot at Dr. Badfish, who, oddly enough, Vanks ended up going on to fight GIZMO. This was who Princess Slim accidentally DQ'd against for not checking into their match. GIZMO 2-0'd Vanks. So potentially, if Princess Slim wins this, we could look at it from a lens of, if Princess Slim had stayed and fought Vanks, they most likely win if they beat GIZMO. You know, just looking at a tier list almost. And then you would have seen way earlier on, Princess Slim against Psychotic. That would have actually happened out in winter semifinals. It would have actually, oddly enough, gone the same way as the winter semifinals that Psychotic did get against GIZMO, which ended up being 3-1. So, who knows how similar of caliber these players are? I'm just trying to look at, you know, the things that we can compare between these two, and I would say, I don't know, you know, you both 3-1 the same guy. Sure, you did it through insanely different means, but you were able to find the same result. So I'm hoping and expecting a very even matchup. I'm expecting a game 5, but obviously Princess Slim would like to be quicker.
I think I gotta go with Princess on this one because we've seen Princess excel most against characters that try and force opportunities.
I agree. Yep. Well, here's that one forced opportunity. It's some big damage early on. Looks for the backdash, no throw given. And there's the command grab, side swap and everything. Enjoy walking him down once again. Oh, it's so brutal. Hardly a way through against Princess Slim's offense.
Giovanna's forward dash is so strong that there's almost a weakness attached to it. It's a situation where you are so likely to use your very powerful forward dash that the opponent can plan around that, and we're seeing Giovanna forward dash get tagged a lot already because it's just so good. And there's situations where Gizmo's trying to do like 2 in a row, which is
not
like,
today.
Wild. It works if the player is really not ready to deal with that.
Right.
Great.
Absolutely. Oh, that was huge. Massive damage gives them the positive bonus, and it gives them mid-screen.
Nice throw, that's done.
Will seal? Oh my. They didn't even have half meter. That was just the raw damage of the throw, and Axel being not too bulky.
Axel got baby health.
Yep. 1.07.
Okay.
What's up?
Great sequence of 2 command grabs from... Yeah, that dive kick is very safe on block, but you can punish it to start up. This is, I think, a neutral jump. Yeah, unfortunately...
Oh, no. Yep.
You have to block that in a very particular way to punish Axel Super.
Oh my goodness. Well, you made the right call for the first round over there, Benoit. That was a slaughter. Princess Slim, yeah, sure, their health went low, but it always felt like that they had this one just written down as a win already.
I think in order for GIZMO to win this, we're going to have to see them really find an approach that is more conservative, or just do that.
Yeah, or be as wild as possible. And work hard once you're in. Is that fair?
I don't think it can be on the ground.
I agree.
I think Axel is too prepared to deal with a conventional ground approach, especially like Gio's forward dash. Big damage and a wall break.
My goodness.
And pressure on wake up.
Oh, there's that slash again. Gonna be enough. Yep.
It does everything.
It does.
It checks dashes, it anti-airs fast air approaches, it's active enough to anti-air slow air approaches.
Does your taxes, cooks your breakfast,
Duel 2.
helps you clean up around the house.
Absolutely. Great throw from Princess.
Brilliant jump in. Try to get something off of it, but it's going to be the slash again. Let that pressure ride. Good throw. We're going to throw again.
Nice jump throw.
Timing. Oh, he baits it with no punish. It'll work out.
Are we going to see the burst? No. Excellent control from Princess. And that would be such an uphill battle, and GIZMO has demonstrated that that cheeky instant air dash can beat the layer of options that we're currently at.
Yeah.
GIZMO's starting to realize it too.
Absolutely. And now you have burst for this round. So, you know, if you feel the need to reset things, you can. Oh boy, speaking of. Not spending it, just gonna let that damage sit. That's gonna be one of the heavier bits of damage they get too, because Axel hadn't crossed that 70% threshold of health before Guts starts kicking in.
I think that indicates such a high level of respect on Princess's part.
Okay.
We haven't seen GIZMO bait a burst and kill someone with it, but we see Princess in a situation where they're like, I'm going to assume you can, and I'm not going to, I'm just not ever going to give you the opportunity to do so.
2-0. 2-0 Princess is mad on their accidental DQ. This is,
Listen, we gotta bring accidental DQ back, because that's the only thing that's stopping Princess at the moment.
Yeah, and it hasn't done a good job of tying them down.
How's DQ doing in the bracket? Are they out already?
No, I think they lost round 1, and round 2, and round 3.
Uh-oh. You've side switched with Axel. Yeah. Cherry Bomb, not only is it a great plus option, but it's a frame trap if you're not just immediately jumping out.
See, puts
Yeah,
him down.
Gets you with the overhead.
This has been unbelievably dominant from Princess Slim. I wish I could talk about which options they're using to cover what from GIZMO, but it's simply just constant hits. Every single jump in is getting anti-aired. Every single throw apparently is getting punished, and he's still gonna beat it! She's still gonna beat it out! Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. Gee, that's not the first time we've seen the absolute confidence of her jumping up FD, even in a situation where a burst adjustment's spent. So like a great presence of mind to, in that moment when the round is about to end, like that's where it could all come tumbling down if a reversal happens. And like I said, it's just Princess is just playing with the utmost respect,
For sure.
assuming that you've got burst safe combos, making sure that the axle pressure and the axle confirms are themselves like either burst baits or as burst safe as possible.
Right.
And like Axel, like if you go online and you fight Axels, like some Axels do try and get crazy. We have not seen that crazy. We've seen just clean, doesn't
overextend. You're right. Yep.
She's my favorite to win.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, Dr. Badfish has had a hell of a run. If we look at Dr. Badfish's run, right? If I could find Dr. Badfish in the tournament bracket.
Probably near the end.
Here we go. Well, yeah. So they beat GIZMO. They beat GIZMO 3-1. They beat Bad Film 3-1. They took it 2-1 over OG Legends, 2-1 over Q-Chan, 2-1 over Limited Extent, and 2-0 over a player named Jam Sessions. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So they've given up a game here or there. They've adapted, clearly. You know, they've had problems getting that first game potentially, or maybe it's the second game. No, actually, it's often the first game that they lose, which is interesting. But, you know, they get rid of that first game, and then they're ready to rock, oddly enough.
Mm-hmm.
So, will we see that process repeat?
This is Grand Finals, right?
Yes, it is.
Here we are. Princess and losers win 2 best-of-5s against Chip. Off to a strong start. Dr. Badfish demonstrating familiarity with that auto-time PD overhead setup. So hopefully we're seeing a Chip player who knows at least some of the ins and outs of the axle.
Duel 2.
Or we're gonna need to spam that fish a little more. I appreciate what Moogle's saying in chat, though. Info round. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. That's what we're seeing from Badfish a lot, is that they need to, unfortunately, get their ass handed to them, and then they'll put it together in a moment later.
And honestly, Badfish has the rounds to work with. If I were Badfish, I would not want to give Slim the momentum. I would not want to give her the reset, if at all possible. I want to end this as quickly as possible. But
if I'm Badfish, and honestly, I'll never be in the position, let's be real with ourselves, but I'm looking to end this in 5 games. Alright, I'm expecting that I'm losing game 1, probably going to win game 2 and 3, lose game 4, and then I'll take game 5 in 2 straight rounds. That's how I see this going down. And that's what happens when you have a player that is able to properly analyze their opponent and truly break them open, like Badfish is starting to do right now. He's calling up the defensive options from Princess Slim and putting her to an absolute trial. I don't remember Arxis teaching me how to block that mix-up.
And to Princess's credit, we're not going nuts. We're slowing it down. We're using our smart options. If you, Badfish gave up a. Oh my god! What if?
Who needs it?
What if I was just beside you now?
It's funny that they gave the Weeb a nice little Omaiwa finisher there, because they were already dead the moment they'd committed.
Let me create a hypothetical situation for you. I'm over there.
Yep.
You're far away, but what if I was all the way over here now?
This sounds like the word trade offer I've ever heard.
You receive mix. I receive damage.
Oh my goodness. Badfish only needed the 1 round.
Chat,
only
you've
need to
done
get
it.
away with the 1 round. They're ready to go.
Cat, you've done it. You've activated the Badfish.
Oh. Whoa, hold on. A little disrespectful there. Doctor, Badfish, okay? You worked for that degree.
Doctor
2K
of
action.
Ninjutsu.
Yep. And Badfish.
What a throw tech! Oh, what?
Okay. What a throw.
It's 2-frame startup. It is
Yep.
a defensive option you must always be mindful of.
Hope your meaties are on point. Okay.
Yeah, first just to make the bleeding stop.
It's looking good right now for Princess Slim. They might be able to put a round on the board.
Gosh, so many Axle Bombers. That's not easy to do to loop by. You gotta TK those. You gotta TK a DP. That's never my favorite motion.
No, not a fan of the Tiger Knee input on the best of days, but
Duel 1.
here they are getting away with it over and over and over.
Big counter heat.
That was nice. That was nice. Like to see it every once in a while. Things start going the right way. Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh no. Right idea. Slightly mistimed.
enjoy the corner. We'll see you next round. Oh, never mind. We'll
Oh,
see you
it's
right
not
now.
over yet. Right.
That's how you do it.
Badfish. Oh gosh, you hate to see it pushed out just slightly too far.
Big air throw.
Air
Nice
throws
jump.
the command grab.
How you handle it. Great reactions. It's great anticipation from Princess Slim. They know what they need to look for, and they're getting away with it. That's going to be the round. First not available.
Bam.
Princess Slim is sitting 2-1. Did I read the script backwards? I swear I said Princess Slim takes game 1, then Dr. Badfish takes 2-3. It's been the exact opposite. Maybe Princess Slim is the one that needed to be able to adapt. Maybe they've got the better ability to download the opponent.
It's possible, chat, that Princess Slim is also powered by fish, and you've been giving them this energy the whole time. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
A really difficult place to burst from.
Yep. Yeah, you're putting yourself at a lot of risk.
Okay, alright.
With Axel.
Forces him. And that's done. That's
Oh.
done.
Duel 2.
That's crazy. Shuts down another round. Princess Slim pushing for that reset. 1 round away. Dr. Badfish, they want their turn. They're going to take another one. Oh, there we go. Princess Slim takes their turn back and then throws themselves into the corner. Costly.
Yeah.
Not costly enough.
I wonder if Axel can consistently deal with J2K with a close S, because that was such a confident button we saw from Slim.
I would think so, but I couldn't tell you for certain. Oh, calls out the jump. Knew that Dr. Badfish was going to look for the block against the button this time, and there's the throw. OTG, little bit
Yeah.
of health left.
Very delayed cherry bomb. That's gonna be a reset.
That it is, and that was one of the swiftest resets I think I will ever see from an
Yeah.
Axel player. That was some heavy damage. Nice cat.
Thank you. Speaking of cats, we said that we had to run the rest of these sponsors before the break is over,
And we
and
did.
Princess Slim is going to make us a liar. So, Stream Chat, have you heard about Monster Cat Gold? All right, if you're a content creator or if you just like EDM, it's a music subscription service. They've got a lot of electronic artists.
$5.
$5 a month, and you can use all of the music for live streams, videos. You're paying to not get those DMCA takedowns. You know, your YouTube channel will be fine, your Twitch stream will be fine, and you can check those out at tgs.gg/monstercat. My monster cat is named Cinnamon. Say hello, Cinnamon. Cinnamon does not interested in saying hello.
Jeez. I mean, hey, that happens. Cats aren't always the the most talkative of creatures, unless you're in the washroom or they want to go outside and then come back inside, and then for no apparent reason want to go back outside.
Great start, Dr. Badfish. Strong. I think Badfish is realizing that like playing a slow game is playing a losing game versus Princess.
Right. No, it absolutely has been. That's
gonna hurt.
That's gonna be most of your health. She approached. Interesting. I thought you would have wanted to keep full screen, even if it meant that you were still back against the corner. But takes a little bit of ground with her. Find yourself back in the corner fast enough, and there's that setup. Yep.
Such an ambiguous setup for Charge Dust, and honestly, the reward for Charge Dust is so high. You get so much damage from hitting those that it's such a powerful tool for a character to have a way to hide the startup of that.
Oh, that must have been a misinput. There's no way you're bursting there as Dr. Badfish.
No.
Slim gets caught. Yep.
Oh, that was a run-up block that I have to wonder what Dr. Badfish was trying to do.
Duel 3.
I mean, I'm assuming block, but your guess is as good as mine. No, but I know what you mean. What are you trying to bait out? What option are you looking for? Are you just trying to gain ground? Here we are going to see them just gain ground. Falls in with a slash, not going to be able to get anything off that JS, but a little bit of pain, honestly. Some great delays. Oh. Tried to bait the burst.
Yeah.
Doesn't cost him. Doesn't cost her an inch. Princess Slim picks up where they left off, sprinting headlong towards
even
winning this grand finals.
Even in the event Badfish didn't bite, like, how are you coming back from that? Counter hit, no pickup.
Oh, a little bit of Rekka action. Keeping Princess Slim in the corner, keeping her on her toes. That wrist gauge getting up pretty high. Gonna be able to cash in.
Ooh, great anti-air. Misses the Axle Climber. Uh-oh.
Not costly enough.
Ooh, nice bait. Nice bait.
Wavelength there for us. I'm sure that Princess Slim is feeling good about that little bit of movement.
At the same time, you're in the corner versus Axel. You don't have the burst. Right idea. Uh-oh.
We're not done yet. Well, we are now.
Who's dead? Okay.
Yeah, Slim's dead. Slim's dead.
Yeah, Chip has a third of his health left, and Axel just hit a 5k, but maybe
Who
Chip's
knows?
dead.
You never know. That kid he's frail.
Honestly, they shouldn't even be letting the president of a country fight this person.
I don't think anyone has a choice.
Great, goes for the burst, tries to get this wall run combo. Uh-oh. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I thought they were going to follow him to the wall, but Dr. Badfish knows best.
That move is sticky.
An option that we haven't seen Slim explore is you can RC the command grab and you can get a damage follow-up.
What a burst. Or, sorry, what a call-out on the burst with the RC.
Yeah, maybe just uses all the meter to bait bursts.
Yeah. I mean, hey, pretty useful. There's going to be no burst for Dr. Badfish until it's basically just being used as a pressure break tool as opposed to a combo break tool. And with how much they're getting hit, I'm not even sure they're going to be able to get to burst in time. The wrist gauge is flying upwards, and that counter hit should seal it. One touch.
Yeah.
Princess Slim on match point now.
Didn't even get half a burst back. And this is what I meant, where it's like you don't want to give Princess the reset because, like, Dr. Badfish probably in their head right now.
Duel 1.
They've had highs, but at this point they're running out of ideas, and all of their ideas are playing into Princess's conditioning.
Oh, nice little tap of the K. Just good placements of the sickles, no punish, not able to get a button out in time. This Dr. Badfish is just running offense, looking to be able to create some amount of pressure, but it's not going to turn into much of anything. The throw will rip, so a throw in return. push him back out. It's a Slim. She's playing it nicely.
Good tag.
You don't see those often. Oh, boy. Round point. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say technically you're minus after this spin, but at that spacing, Chip doesn't have a lot of options to challenge some real far buttons.
Absolutely. We're on round point here for Princess Slim to take this tournament from the loser's side. Missed their match timing and threw themselves into losers. And Dr. Badfish just doesn't seem to have a real answer. And it's hard to have an answer to all of these nice, quick, long-range buttons that Axel has available to themselves. Oh, throw not going to go in. Badfish looks to bait out something, not going to get anything. The YRC puts him to the outside. He's going to get clipped with the toes.
And that's it. That's it.
Shut it down. Dr. Badfish has been spoiled. They've been foiled in their winner's run. Taken from Grand Finals winner's side. 6-1.
Where was DQ when we needed them most? To defend Canada. But honestly, shoutouts to Princess Slim. That really was incredibly clean. Because this is a weekly situation, so next Tuesday, honestly, I want to see some runbacks. I want to see some storylines. Let us congratulate Princess on their victory now, but let us all know that like next week, there could be a new champion. It could be Dr. Badfish.
It could absolutely. It could be anyone. Hell, I mean, we might. We saw an early exit from Yaya. We saw some good showings from players that aren't really from this scene. You know, we saw Mortzy come in pretty strong. Elkman ran into Princess Slim. Maybe if they don't end up on that path, they go a little bit further. Ruka, Mike Satfig, everyone that was in, you know, that little top 13 bubble were really, really strong showers, but they just couldn't go all the way. They didn't have enough in the tank to push past all of these great pieces of talent. Unlike Princess Slim, who cut down everyone and anyone they could get their hands on. I mean, they took down Badfish, they took down GIZMO, so that's two people that were in top 3. They took down, I guess they didn't get to, the only people they didn't get to fight were Ruka, Mike Satfig, and Joffrey. No wait, Joffrey was not quite top 8. But still, they cut down all of these big names. They are poised to really make a great run the next go around just on this current show. I'm very excited to see them again. This is the first time that I've seen a zoner and been like, hell yeah, give me more. Show it to me again.
I think Princess did such a good job of demonstrating that, like, even though the pace of this game can be quite fast, and even though like a number of characters are quite powerful because of their huge offensive tool set, like this is a cross game, cross sort of genre understanding of fundamentals. This is just clean, solid play, and it is always a good day when clean, solid play wins a tournament.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
Congratulations again to Princess. That was super clean. But before we let you go, we've got one more thing I got to tell you about Gamble.
Yep.
And it is the final piece to your work from home or gaming setup.
It just might be.
It just might be. I want to tell you about Kanto. They are a company that provides monitor mounts, speakers, and stands. They're a big friend of the stream. They've helped make this event happen, and thank you for that, Kanto. This has been a great event. So if you need to find something for your workstation, your battle station, or if you're like me, they're the same thing, and I just play games and pretend to work on 2 different monitors, then check out Kanto for their monitor mounts, speakers, stands, other accessories, cat not included. Hey, sweetie. I want you to go to cantoliving.com, check them out. Once again, big thank you to everyone who made this stream possible. Yes, I know. Thank you to everyone who made this stream possible. Thank you to the Gaming Stadium. Thank you to my co-commentator Gamble. Thank you to you, Cinnamon.
And I guess that's it. Thanks to production for putting this on and those that called us in to do this. Big shout out to all the competitors. You know, there is no tournament without them. And outside of that, I guess we wrap it up. It's been fun being here, but for Benoit, myself, and the gaming stadium, we'll see you guys next time, whenever next time happens to be.
Come out next week, next Tuesday. Everybody, same time, same channel. Come back.
Stuff's free. Swing by. Catch you later.
Bye-bye.